just sit here and BS. We can start whenever. But I wanted to do it just to see what the truck would do, because I don't have anywhere 10 scale right here around the house I can do anything with.
Right.
Down the road down there by Harbor Freight and stuff, and do some, and then there's a few other places, that aren't too awful far away. But I don't have any.
I just got burnt, man, on competition stuff in the racing years because I did it. Okay, I just got burnt, man, on that stuff, doing it for so long, and like competition kind of, for me, killed the gas and nitro side of the hobby a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it got to be guys wouldn't help one another, and this is my secret, and just the hobby should be dudes helping each other out, not.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you win, you win. If you don't, oh well,
right.
If you beat, it happens, If it's
but man, it turned into a great big. I got to be better than everybody show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It burnt me on doing that I did that probably for, I don't know, man. It was a long time, 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And then it just got to the point where I got so tired of guys arguing and stuff with each other. And it got so bad in the pit area, guys were putting petitions between, we had, I'm set up here, but they had tables built into the wall, and guys would bring petitions and set up between so you couldn't see what they were doing.
Right.
And it got to be too unfriendly. That's why I try to stay away from the competition stuff. I don't.
Right.
It just burnt me too much.
Remember how I was telling you I was having that problem with the transmitter that day?
Yeah.
Oh, where to set it down there? Diesel, what'd you do with P-Max's remote? I knew you had it. They might run fine me.
What in the world?
It's my AX24.
Battery. Oh yeah, okay.
Dead, but remember I couldn't reverse or nothing I was telling you about at the competition? Seems like it was going fine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she ain't in high performance mode, but battery's about dead, and I'm running that big 750 milliamp 2S battery. Yeah, I get all kinds.
I seen you had that strapped to the front.
Yeah. It's way too big. It's got my balance out of whack.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine it does.
I mean, I'm forward on the links right there.
Oh, big time.
So I mean, without it on there, with let's put it this way, with a smaller battery, it's going to help. I think I ordered two 2S 450 milliamp. I mean, I can run 3S through this ESC, but I mean, it's still biased forward, but it's getting pretty well centered.
See, I want to I'm looking at getting that Puritech system for that 24 quad.
It'll make that thing right there just crawl like you wouldn't believe. Puritech's a great system.
It would have been nice today to have been able to have somebody drive that.
Huh?
I said it'd have been nice to have somebody drive that today because we were on some pretty nice scale.
Oh,
it probably would have done most of the trail today.
Right. See, that's a lot of people, oh man, quit playing with them little old toys you got. Well, this thing right here, a lot of times will go places.
Oh, dude, this thing's fun as can be running it with the scale trucks.
And see, that's just the C10 wheelbase, right? The short wheelbase.
It was a deadbolt.
Oh, okay. So,
and then I shortened the links on it. I made my own links to shorten it to fit that hard body ATV body.
Yeah. See, I made these links here out of steel.
Yeah, these are just the plastic ones I cut down and then put threaded bar stock inside the plastic.
Oh, I got you.
And then I just took I just threaded the links together with like the big long grub screws.
Yeah.
And I just drilled the plastic link out and run that grub screw as far as I could and then far as I could and tighten them down.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a metal reinforced stainless steel grub screw that runs the whole length of the link.
Oh, see, that's pretty sweet. That's smart.
Yeah, it ain't gonna bend. I mean, it's still plastic outside, but it has stainless steel threaded link in the inside.
Right. See,
and then I just JB welded it together on the threads.
Right. You could adjust it if you make it adjustable if you wanted to.
Yeah, I could. I just wanted to get it down to that wheelbase for that quad. But this thing needs a little better. It needs some weight down low and a better system in it to do.
Like I was telling you there the other day, man. I'll send you I found the bushings. I'll get your address from you and I'll send you the bushings. All you got to do is cut them down and they fit right inside of the wheel. Right there.
Yeah, that's what I need. I was looking for them for that.
They're awesome. They make wheel weights for it.
Right.
But, I mean, if you can go down to the damn local hardware store and pick up a brass bushing for $1.50 or whatever.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Cut it, put it in the front wheels. All you gotta do, it'll fit right perfect inside of that wheel. I just took some super glue, put around it, put it in the inside of that wheel after I had it cut down to the thick, the depth that I wanted.
Right.
And throw some BBs in it. In the tires.
That's what I need. That the BBs in the front and the weight in the back just a little bit. You know what I mean, to counteract that. Because this is a hard body. It's a hard plastic. It's an actual hard body. Right.
Yeah, and those things are top heavy.
It's real. And then you put a
you put a rider on
it.
Yeah, man, and it makes it even worse. All that on old boy that copied yours.
Yeah. Well, he
actually, I think he gives somebody credit for the idea.
I don't know. I haven't watched his channel for a long time.
Right, but he was one of them that I started watching. Whenever I was learning and stuff.
I may go back to watching some of his stuff. I mean, I don't have no hard feelings towards him or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just I got really into the, scale stuff. So, I was more kin to watching the, guys that was doing the, super scale content and everything. And
right.
I mean, I like to do all of it, man. I try to keep performance stuff. I mean, I've got that UGRC Labs TRX4 down here at Dr. Kleimenstein comp chassis down here. I've got the Sherpa truck over here that's still waiting on a power plant, another Sherpa chassis. I mean, I've got a bunch of comp stuff too. I just I don't know. I mean, I don't enjoy it like I enjoy the scale stuff for me.
Well, and that's what all the hobby is about, is what makes you fun. And that's the reason I'm glad to be in the hobby, because there's so many different places you can go in the hobby.
Right. That's why I try to do everything, man. It's like that Michigan, that FMS guys were harping about, oh, it's so big. I'm like, yeah, but it's like one of the most scale realistic hard bodies you can buy on the market for cheap.
Get up there now.
I mean,
thank you.
I don't understand why guys push themselves to one thing in the body. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that's me. I mean, you can look right here. I'll just lay it there and just show you. You can see what all different stuff I'm into in the hobby. You know what I mean? There's gliders, There's bashers. There's crawlers. There's bashers. There's a speed buggy with big tires on it. You know, making scale stuff like that dump bed over there by the TV.
Right.
You know, making that boat back there. You know,
I mean, I've got nitro stuff. I still go out and run nitro stuff sometimes. I don't have any of it close by, but you know, it's like guys were the only thing I have like small scale is that, you know, that FMS Willys, that 112. Yeah. That's, you know,
that's
this thing actually works pretty well. You know, it runs on a 2S battery.
I've seen people give great reviews on that truck.
Yeah, it works really good, man.
I haven't seen a bad review on it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault it for, you know, really, it don't do anything crazy because it's just a little, you know, 280
it's just Willie's Jeep.
Yeah.
You know, and
I don't understand why guys put themselves into one, you know,
niche of the hobby. You know,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I like driving fast. I like driving slow. Yeah. I like taking hold of something with my truck and seeing what it'll pull. I like seeing if it'll climb up that tree if it get a bite on it. You know, I like stuff. I'm not.
I had a buddy, man, that was like, "Oh, you need to." I was into the 5th scale gas stuff and everything. What's this? Okay, don't fall.
What?
And he was all, "Oh man, that gas stuff's dead and this and that." And I'm like, just because it's not popular for you, brother, don't mean it ain't still popular. I mean,
right.
Oh, you're talking about 2K, you know, some of those. That's why I quit the 5th scales, because I did it, got out, and then it got affordable, so I got back in it.
Right.
But then everybody started getting back in it, and the prices all raised up on that 5th scale gas stuff. So I quit again, and it just. My back got messed up in a Jeep accident I had, and I couldn't lug 60, 70 pound, you know, giant 5th scale RCs, you know, that big around everywhere in and out of fields. I mean, I just couldn't do it no more. My back wasn't good enough for it. I mean, some of those trucks I had, that one weighed almost 62 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just couldn't haul them no more.
62 pounds of badassness, but yeah, still 62 pounds.
Oh, dude. I had everything down here. I had a Losi MTXL. I had the Losi 5. I had a Rovin clone of the Losi 5 with a G34 CC. They're 340. It was stroked, ceramic bearings. Them guys all electric. I had a Reed engine down here, dude, that would blow my buddy's X-Max away. He outrun me on top end, but I had more takeoff than his brushless X-Max when he got it. I mean, I don't understand why guys gotta be like, well, you have to do electric and then
or you have to do gas, or nitro's the best out of all of them, or whatever.
I don't know why guys are that way, man. I don't get it. That's why I don't like Facebook, you know, because you go in
and then you get the oh, well, you can tell that you're a racist or whatever because you got a Confederate flag on your truck. And I'm like,
that shit's ridiculous.
Oh, like, really? Okay.
That stuff.
Whatever, Bub. I said, that's the reason this country's so awesome. You have your way. You have your feelings. I have mine. We're both allowed to feel that way. You don't like it, just move along. Oh, we see how you are, you know, just trying to poke apart somebody. And I used to have been. I'd have come back and blah, 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 and went at them, you know, but
it ain't worth it.
No, it's much more fun sitting back, being the more intelligent one and intelligently putting your point across without being rude, without being mean, you know. And
but man, Facebook stayed up with it, bro. Man, Facebook.
And then they go, well, you can tell you're illiterate and uneducated. And I said, oh, really? I'm the one that put forward the good point that knows a little bit about the way that the stuff worked back from 1861 to now. I said, maybe you need to go back and reread your real history, not what you was taught in school.
Listen, I've got college-educated friends, and some of them can be the biggest idiots you'll ever meet.
Yeah, educated idiots. That's an engineer for you. Put a hammer to nail in an engineer's hand.
Yeah.
Most of them can't do it.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
You know,
I
can
just
do it.
don't understand
I
why
can do their
guys.
work.
I follow a lot of groups on Facebook, man, and like the scale guys, man, are some of the hardest.
Yeah.
I mean, you can post something that's just absolutely freaking sweet, and you'll have 30, 40 dudes in there just
Picking it. Yep.
just picking, just to be, for lack of better words. I mean, just to be. I mean, I'm sorry, man. You can just tell they're being pricks. I mean,
yeah.
That's
oh yeah. And in the mini groups there's a lot of them like that.
So it's the same way in them too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because if you're not running, oh shoot, my mind just went blank. LGRP tires and Mofo one-up wheels. Which don't get me wrong, I like the Mofo one-up wheels. I like Mofo all the way through because they're a small company. They're great guys to work with, and they've got great products. If something happens, bam, they're on it to fix that problem right now. You know what I mean? I had parts turn around. I got the parts. I got them in 2 days. Turned back around. Let Mike Wheeler know. Mike had it in the mail that afternoon. Got here in 2 days later, and I was under a week getting parts from Texas.
See, that's the kind of service.
Getting it back twice, getting parts twice in a week.
Yeah, that's good service right there.
Yeah.
Well, them guys on RC four-wheel drive group, man, all you ever hear, that's absolutely, and I hate to put anybody on blast or anything.
Right.
But that RC four-wheel drive only group, brother, I ain't never seen such much horse shit in my life with that group.
I'm in it, and I don't even have an RC four-wheel drive.
But I mean, those dudes, one of them trucks hardly have a single RC four-wheel drive parts on it. It should be called not RC four-wheel drive.
Right. Because I mean,
I can't even comment on that group anymore. If I post a picture or a comment, my shit gets blocked out.
Really?
It won't even be approved because they're so finical about everything.
Dang.
Because I go on there and I tell them the truth and they get mad about it because you don't need $500 worth of aftermarket leaf springs to make one of these trucks work.
Right.
So I quit going on there anymore, man. You can't even, you'll make a comment on there, just something simple. A guy will ask a question about how to, when he gets a truck and, what do I need to go through it? If you just make a simple suggestion about taking it apart and Loctite and all like the metal to metal parts, boom, they're on you, dude, like a Kodiak bear, and you're covered in, corn syrup and chicken.
Damn, now I'm going fried chicken and pancakes, man. What the hell? But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and that's the way it is.
I don't know why guys got to be that way, though.
Yeah,
we're all in the hobby.
Yeah, I try to help. If I have an idea to help somebody, I post it. Well, that ain't the right way to do it. Well, you know what? I didn't tell him it was the right way to do it. Matter of fact, I specified underneath, this is not the correct way. I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is how I would do it.
Yeah, but the chances are, if it works for one person,
it'll work.
It's going to work for somebody else too,
as long as they're within the same level of of handiness. Know how to use.
I just can't get on board with that. With them guys, like they'll buy one of these trucks and immediately go to one of those groups, and you need a 2-in-1 system, and you need this. $130 steering servo, and then take the tires off and throw it in the trash, and you need to buy another set of Pro Lines or J-Cons. You don't always have to do that.
Did you happen to see the video that Ricky posted of my run with last week? Well, they're in the middle, and this the guy that's judging.
I watched the video.
Oh, okay. Well, did you hear? He said the guy. He said, "What kind of tires are those?" I said, "Canyon Trails." He said, "Well, how'd you get them so sticky?" I said, "Well, go to RC Dungeon on YouTube and watch his video."
All the WD-40.
Yeah, and the thing was, I hadn't WD-40'd them yet. I can't say that I didn't WD-40 them. I had a rag that had WD-40 on them, and I just wiped them down.
Which is the same process.
And I don't think Brad had them tires on that truck very long, or even really run them, because I mean they still look brand new.
Well, he got those off of me. They were new.
So then maybe it's because of you've WD-40'd them already, and that's why they look so good.
Yeah. I had those and only ran them around a little bit, and then I messed around with them. I think I did WD-40 those.
I was going to say the black was still too black to have been on a vehicle very much at all. You know what I mean?
They come off my
tire looks. You know how brand new tire looks, you know, whenever you get it.
Yeah, then they'll end up looking like that.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because these right here look the same way. I mean,
yeah, the dirt gets embedded in that rubber.
Oh yeah.
That's
what a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, rubber will hold water off of it.
Yep,
but it'll also absorb water too.
Yes, it will.
Yep. And a lot of people don't understand that, and that's like we were talking the other day. Whenever you were talking about link risers. Don't tell me.
Dude, that video made so many people mad.
I don't care. I took that servo mount, flipped it around upside down, and bolted it to the back so that I could raise my links up. Well, that's a good 3/4 of an inch. It raised it up, and then with these frame extensions, I eliminated every bit of the torque twist out of this truck.
They work, don't they?
Yep, and that's because of the vertical rails instead of having the C-channel rail, you know, like that one or like yours, you know, straight rail. And where even with the Mofo, now the double dragon that they have, that chassis, it comes out and has frame coming out to here and coming out to here on the ends of it, which gives you more, but it still doesn't go far enough back to really help, you know. Because
I got flamed on for doing them link riser videos bad, man. I had to go through and remove so many negative comments on those videos.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of the bigger channels was even going on there, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, it works. I mean, I tried to do videos to prove
it. Here's the stock one. Here's what I did to do it. Here's the run afterwards. What comparison? Same driver, same battery, same truck, same day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I try, dude, but you wouldn't believe the crap I took for that.
Oh yeah, I would, because I've had people tell me that I was wrong, and that boom slang suspension sus. Yep. He's the one that swears up and down that it don't work, and most of the stuff that he talks about, I agree with. And I understand, you know, especially because of where your contact patch is on your different forks and stuff, going vertical and this, that, and the other. And that's where I got the idea from straightening this up. But he started saying that a spring riser didn't help. I was like, you know, that old dog look like, huh?
We're running them on 2 trucks, man. And both trucks that we're running them on, it almost eliminated and the only thing we changed was a link riser. We didn't change anything else.
Right.
I mean, if it took the torque twist out of 2 trucks, I'm sorry. Maybe the science doesn't prove that it works, but I mean, it obviously works.
Just the link riser itself, PMAX would still pull the wheel.
Right.
But whenever I put the frame extensions on it, which if it's an SCX 24 or a frame, you know, a full frame truck, the link riser is all you need because you've already got the shock positioning places back here.
Right.
And that was like people saying that a rubber band on the front is cheap, because if you had your suspension tuned quick enough or good enough, you wouldn't have to worry about that. And man, a fellow was in the group, and I said something, and then he finally just went off. He was like, "No, wait a minute." He said, "I drive 1-to-1s, rock crawlers, rock bouncers, speed rock racing." He said, "You have a thing called unload.
Yeah.
When your springs unload when you're going vertical." He said, "The only way to eliminate that, which I run on both ends of my vehicle, of my 1-to-1, I run limiting straps." He said, you cannot get it to where it will not unload. He said, you can do pin spring mod, the reverse spring, whatever. He said, you can do that. He said, it helps some, but you're still going to have that body weight, pull them back. Once you get to that certain tipping point, it's going to unload. Whenever it unloads, it's got enough force to bring your front end over and flip. But
that's what happened.
It won't ever unload, so you'll be able to get to that point and be able to still go.
Yep.
I mean, and it made sense. And everybody's like, oh, well, still, if your suspension, I was like, okay, here's the deal. What if you don't have a frame on the vehicle that you're running to where you can get the shock position right to where you can actually fully, correctly tune said suspension? I said, manufacturers make their own. And I said, people buy stuff, but maybe they don't know what they're talking about. I said, I'm one of them. I said, I knew what I was getting myself into, but I didn't know how deeply I was getting myself in until I got it.
Right.
And that's one thing as a newbie to the RC community again, because like I was telling you, I was high toy grade in the mid 80s. And I didn't have anybody who knew what the hell they were doing to fix stuff. So whenever it tore up, it just got thrown in a toy box and was done,
Right.
Some wheels and tires off of it if I could figure out a way to get that to work. But whenever I got back into it, I did a lot of research. I was already watching your channel. I was already watching Sliding Sideways RC because he's goofy just like me. So, of course, I fit in with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was watching a lot of Joe XO Cage, and I was watching Hill Ninjas up there, and Evan from Derby City. I was watching them.
I watched Joe, but I never watched. I haven't. I need to catch up on that. I subscribed to that Sliding Sideways.
Oh yes, Kev, man, he's good people. He's helped me get to where I'm at now with my viewers and stuff, with his lives and stuff like that, by introducing me to people in the hobby. And
right.
Like Jason Earl, I met him through him, and he's the one that helped me get the gear for F&G, get it running again. Yeah. And ended up, I screwed up and ordered the wrong part. And he was like, well, somebody could use it. Well, I texted Ricky up real quick. I was like, hey, man, can you use this? He said, yeah. He said, matter of fact, I can use it on this next build. He said, because the one I've got's a little sketch. He said, I'm worried about it, and it's that slipper cut clutch gear, the little one, the 52.
Yeah.
And he's like, he said, yeah, I could use it. So Jason Earl's like, he said, pass it on, brother. He said, pay it forward, And
yeah, good dudes like that, man, I'm starting to realize
they're few and far between.
Especially when you start getting up in some of the medium range YouTube world.
Yeah, they're heading.
I've helped some guys that started after I did, and there is a YouTube channel that kind of pissed me off, man, because I helped him out a lot.
Right. Right.
And I worked with other guys to help him get up there. And there was no repay at all. Once he reached that level, I did it all on my own, and that's the reason why I don't really watch his content that much more.
And that's the thing, that's like people like you, like Skevy Skev, James RC Garage, Rock Wolf, Jim Rock Wolf, all them boys, they're great people. They help anybody they can, if they're able to. I aggravate the crap out of Jim all the time, Rock Wolf, with questions about the electronics, because he's got like photographic memory in his head of parts and all the small scale stuff. Plus he's got bigger stuff too. But and
there's a lot of guys that out there I've been looking that have I've tried, man, to get into 24 stuff. It's not really. I thought about it and building like some kind of indoor course here in, but I don't know. Like I got that deadbolt, like I said, to build that, and
Right.
I do got that. I don't have it down here, but I have a side by side down here that they call they say 10th scale, you know, but it's it's
Oh, the
not
side
really
by
10th
side.
scale.
I've
It's
seen
that G
people.
force I've got.
Right.
But once again, it's scale stuff, because that's
Right.
mainly
It's
where.
scale size to your 10 scale truck.
Yeah, that's why I mean I like the other stuff too. Just to me, the scale stuff is just me it's more rewarding, and you'll become a better driver taking one of these leaf spring trucks out and go.
Yeah.
I mean, these trucks will make you a better driver. They really, I mean, honestly, I went from competition stuff to leaf spring stuff.
Right.
And I mean, we were winning comps, back then it was XR10s, Scorpions, MOA, motor on axle stuff guys were running.
Yeah.
So we were running pretty serious class 3 stuff. And back then, and then going into the scale world, I'm like, these made me a better driver than taking all those class 2 and 3 rigs to the competitions.
Right.
You learn to pick lines better with these leaf spring trucks.
Well, I'm 100% with you on that. And sorry, I'm trying to put you back on the TV. That way I can't get hit. I can't get hit for licensing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I was going to ask you, how do you do your leaf springs to get them to work better? Go lay down.
I actually need to do a new video for that because there's actually a lot of tricks that I've learned to take the stock since I've even filmed them last couple videos. But the new RC 4-wheel drive leafs, honestly, all you have to do is take them off the truck and leave them bolted to your axle, and I take the medium leaf out and run the small leaf and the main leaf, and you just can take that axle and turn it upside down on a table and just
flex it.
Some pressure down on them and flatten them out a little bit and take some of the spring tension out.
Right.
Guys say they bend leaf springs. I don't know how, because I literally had a 10-pound truck hooked to this today, pulling it up a 65-degree bank, and I didn't wrap up and bend a leaf spring on this truck today. I mean, guys are just ripping and tearing, man. They're not designed for that.
Right. I understand that, but it seems to me like a leaf sprung truck would actually be more durable than a coil spring truck with 4 links.
In my opinion, I think the leaf spring trucks, personally, myself, perform a little better.
Well, just coming from 1-to-1 world, you know what I mean? To me, I've always had better durability and better control of the vehicle with a leaf sprung, at least in the rear.
Well, the problem is guys take these trucks and they overpower them.
Right.
But, they're taking a 2300 Fusion Pro.
Right.
And it's like taking a Toyota pickup truck and keeping the stock axles under it and putting a 454 big block in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need a 2300 Fusion Pro in these trucks. I mean, I'm not saying it won't work if you've got good throttle, if you've got good, I'm trying to think of a word for it, and not just throttle control, but if you know where to back off of that at, it's not no big deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is these guys buy these TRX4s, man, and they get these trucks and they go out and try to drive them like a TRX4 with a great big overpowered brushless system.
Right.
They're not made
start tearing parts up. You're right.
Yeah. You got to drive them with a little, like you're driving at home, like you're really on the trail.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be a TRX4, but they can perform. You just got to take your time and enjoy the process.
Right. Yeah.
But dude, totally, man. I see it all the time. Guys, I've broken one axle that was on this truck. It was on this TF3. I got it over here. Wasn't even the manufacturer. Wasn't even really my fault. I put so many miles on this truck. The bearing ate through the housing from wear, from mileage. This truck probably has, I couldn't tell you scale miles.
Right.
Probably 200,000. Literally, I've run it that much. It went out today and did 5 miles.
And that's your Toyota run. That's your Toyota truck. It's got the canoe in the bed, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
The rusted white.
Yeah.
Had it for 3 years. I just literally rebuilt the front end in 3 years. That's all I've done to this truck. And I chipped a tooth inside because it spit an E-clip off inside the transmission. My fault. I took the front drive shaft out and was out in the snow and ice. And I had it wide open in second gear, spinning donuts, making
donuts.
It was my fault. It wasn't the manufacturer. It was my fault.
Right. See, that's the thing, though. With people like us, we know that it's our driving that's going to be what causes something to tear up.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's through experience. In your case, is through experience. Over the years with your truck and stuff like that, and other trucks. Me, it's just taken from what I've done, like 1-to-1.
That's what
I've only been doing
same way with me. That's the same way with me.
Right. I'm just a little bit farther on the backside of the curve on it. You know what I mean? You've been doing it for 30 years, and I've been out of it for 30 years.
The problem is, man, I see so many people go in them Facebook groups and they just put manufacturers like,
oh yeah,
they all do it. But dude, RC 4-wheel drive, dude, they take a beating.
From what
if I was a new guy looking at buying one of these trucks and I joined that RC 4-wheel drive group, I wouldn't buy one of these trucks because literally every other comment is, they're junk, and I broke it in 5 minutes. And, well, you drove it out like you snorted a line of cocaine and drank 2 cases of beer and went to the trail.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Hold my beer. I mean, you're going to blow the rear end out of a real Toyota pickup truck with a small block 350 in it on the mat with the 4-barrel open, banging gears, not letting off the throttle.
Yeah. I know whenever I go out and I got a heavy throttle because I got a heavy foot.
Yeah.
I drive like I'm on crystal meth and fucking and Adderall. You know what I mean?
But them guys that blame it on the manufacturer. I'm like, dude, you were wide open.
It's my feet doing it, and that's like whenever I first put the X15s in PMAX, I took it out, and within 2 or 3 days, I had a front gear spun. And I was like, "What in the world? Did I not have it in there right, or what?" And I started thinking, "No, dummy, you've got the bigger pinion gear on the spur and all metal spur gears in the transmission." Yeah. Said you've got that Torque Beast 50 motor that's already running all torque. Yeah. I said, and that's a brass gear going up against a steel gear. The pinion gears is brass gear on the SCX 24s, and the worm gear is steel. Yeah, so it flattened her flip. It looked like a king had done been in a fight with the other knights, and his crown was all bent up. It was like, wow. I even showed some guys down there at the comp the other night, and I was like, yeah, look at here, boys. That's what a Torque Beast 50 will do.
Yeah, stuff breaks, man.
And I was like, I never thought about it, but it's because where my wheels was getting hooked up in cracks, and getting pinned. And I was working them out of it. Well, that was causing that to strip that gear,
Right.
And but I learned, and I also learned that on the 24 scale, don't tighten stuff up all the way.
No.
Don't tighten stuff up all the way. And blue Loctite.
I learned that taking this apart.
Blue Loctite is your friend.
Yep.
Blue Loctite is your friend.
That shit strips so easy. That stuff strips out so easy.
The bolts, the nuts that hold the rear links to the frame. Yep. I lost those because, whenever I bought PMAX, I bought upgrades. I knew what I was going to get into, so I bought upgrades. And I was changing stuff over. Second day I had it. The damn link's been wired to the daggone frame for 8 months almost, and I finally got some new links and stuff for not too long ago. Aaron actually put screws and nuts on it.
Well, dude, a lot of guys just like I got this truck used after it went through an entire. This truck came out, and a friend of mine got a hold of me. I wanted one of them. I didn't have $600 to go because I think they were $599 when they came out with the TF3. He took it to Beat the Creek, took it out of the box, and took it straight to Kentucky to Beat the Creek. And he was like, "Oh, it ran the entire Beat the Creek." And I'm like, "Well, why don't you like it if it made the entire thing without breaking?" Well, it just don't have 6 inches of suspension travel. And I'm like, well, does a factory Toyota Hilux from 78 have 6 inches of suspension travel?
No.
I mean, what did you expect buying a scale truck? You wouldn't go to a Toyota dealer in 1978 and buy a Hilux and be like, oh, well, it don't articulate. No, it's leaf springs.
Yeah. I mean, they will articulate some, but nothing like a full spring and 4-link
link truck.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to do it like a 4-link truck. Ain't no way.
But I'm like, did you have any trouble following the guys with the 419 tire? Well, no, it did the same lines. I'm like, well, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Well, I just want that
a little bit. Ooh, it bounced a little bit, and it doesn't look all flexy pretty.
It kills me, man. Guys get so torqued up on that.
And the thing is, too much flex will it'll end up. This thing right here, you buy this one right here from the factory. So the front tires are like this.
Yep.
I mean, that's the reason my suspension geometry in the front of this hasn't changed. I want my front end to do that.
Yep.
I don't want my back end to do it.
No.
I mean, I like my back end being flexy, but I took the springs off this, and it helped out a lot.
You're better carrying the tire over a hole than dropping the tire in the hole.
Yep.
That's why leaf springs, they say they reach. Because a leaf spring rig carry over that hole onto the next ledge. And it don't do this. And then you got this one.
Whenever it's going over that hole, it's actually whenever it's extended all the way, the front wheel, if the front wheel's extended all the way, it goes forward. Yep. And then whenever you compress it, it comes back.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So you're truly reaching for it with a sprung truck, leaf sprung truck.
Leaf spring, and you can. The only problem with these when you start going like the big tires, like a 419, I've gotten away with. But like I think for me, I'm into the scale, so I tried to stay smaller tire. But you can put a 4.5 on one of these trucks if you don't mind cutting the body up and making a hoopty looking off road truck out of it, and they're very surprising. They work very well with big tires on.
Right. And that's
just not my style to do, but
right. And that's the reason that I'm bringing this thing back down into the class, because the reason it's supposed to be in class 3 is because of the vertical rails. Well, that right there is part of the problem with the torque twist and anything anyway. And plus, it's automatically put me into a class that truck should not be in, because it's actually detrimental to the performance the way this truck's made. It's because of that is why it's in that class. But I understand you can take that truck the way, F&G the way it sat, eliminate the torque twist and make it a badass 4-wheel steer rig.
Yep.
That will articulate and just crawl over stuff, like everybody's wanting to see out of a stock truck. Well, you can't do that with a stock truck. No. You never can.
I don't know what the class is. Does anybody run leaf spring stuff down there?
Yes, there are. I can't remember who it was, but that would be class 1 stock class is what I would suggest, because class 1, you've got to have a frame mounted servo. So you can't you can't have axle mount servo, and it's got to be pretty much stock, performance. So at least the truck would be in that class.
I didn't know because I didn't know what all they,
Now,
you know what I
that's
mean, run.
just from what I understand. You know what I mean? I don't know Sorka rules or anything like that. I need to download them and learn them.
Do they run on Sorka down there?
Lightly.
Yeah, see, that's why I quit with the. It just become a giant pain with bumper this and the bumper height that, and
Yeah.
I just like, dude, you spent forever just building the truck just to run a certain class, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't get into. I've tried it a few times.
Well, that's what got me into the sport, was getting RCs to do stuff that they get those MOAs and stuff to do. That
right.
all straight up vertical and wrapping around the rock and twisting, and that's what got me.
When I left the competition stuff, that's what I was running. Was I had a RC 4-wheel drive bully rig.
Oh yeah, those bully rigs.
That's what I was running. MOA, motor on axle. That's what I ran in the comps and stuff.
Right. Yeah, and those are sweet. You know, I call them cheater rigs, which they are. But
they're all, any LCG's a cheater rig.
Yeah. But I mean,
I know guys get mad when I say that. But
that's what
they're all cheaters.
Yeah, but that's what got me into wanting to get into RCs, and that's why I picked the AX24, because Matt over at 2FM, he gave him a little crap, but you know, he started putting stuff to it and liking it. Adam over at Cape Crawlers, once he did some mods to it, he started digging it. You know, straight out of the box, it's the worst damn car ever made 24 scale, in my opinion. The worst one out of the box there is.
Well, I don't know, man. RC 4-wheel drive.
Well, I'm just talking on the minis. You know.
Yeah, for real. Like their mini, they make a 124 scale TF2.
Oh, really?
Hard body. It's awful. Biggest pile of crap I ever owned.
Really? Now, see,
awful.
Adam over at Reactive Terrain, he's going to be on the channel interviewing here next little while. He's making bodies now, 3D printing bodies, and he's doing a lot of scale stuff for 24 scale. You might check that out and see what he's got, because
I need a 1/10 scale F-150. I want to build a 70s model Ford.
See, I'm torn in between doing a 70s model Ford and doing a 66 model Ford, or an 84 model Ford, because those are my three favorite. You know,
yeah.
77.
Nobody makes cool Ford stuff, man.
EX Lewis is making some pretty badass 18th and 24th scale.
See, I need 110 stuff.
Right. South Carolina Rednecks, who you need to talk to. He's doing a lot of 10th scale stuff, and he's 3D printing some stuff.
Well, I have a guy that used to have a YouTube channel. His name's Fred.
Right.
I can't remember what his YouTube channel was. He took his YouTube channel down because he had guys talking crap about his stuff.
Right.
And that guy was building killer 3D printed bodies. He had a 34 Ford Coupe on a lifted crawler chassis on I think it was on an SCX 10-2. And he had a Chevy Blazer, RC 4-wheel drive Chevy Blazer, before Shrink RC was even making any of the extensions for the truck kit and stuff. He was making them. He was printing them.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And he printed me an F-150 78 round headlight F-150 early model.
Yep. So it was a 2-wheel drive body or F-100 body, because
it's a like the High Boy.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got opening doors, opening tailgate. I don't know what happened to him though. I hadn't heard from him. He's in a wheelchair, so
right.
I don't know, man. I felt bad for him because a bunch of guys got on like Facebook and stuff and were like trashing his YouTube channel and I'm like, who cares, dude? Just keep doing it. He had great content, you know what I mean? Right. I felt bad for the dude because he was making cool stuff. He was making 3D printing like scale garage lofts and stuff for the one. And he could print 110 stuff because he had a big 3D printer.
Right.
But I never heard back from him. And I mean, you didn't have to do a lot of detail sanding and stuff because his 3D prints were nice and smooth.
Right. And there's a lot of the guys that make up 3D print stuff, especially in a 24 scale, that you've got to do a lot of work to get them.
See, that's what I didn't want to. I'm wanting something I can do some sanding, maybe some filling with. But bro, his doors opened, the hood opened. It had a scale firewall in it. I'm like, I wanted to put that on the RC 4-wheel drive long wheelbase leaf chassis.
Right.
Because an F-250, you know, the old high boys.
High boy, yeah.
I mean.
Yep. The high boys. George had one. It was a 70. It was a 78, but it had the square headlights.
Yeah. The late year.
It was late year 78 high boy, and it had them old turbine mag wheels on it.
Yeah, the Dixie wheels.
35-inch wheels. Yeah, it looked good, you know.
I had one on 38 groundhogs. It had a 429 Cobra Jet motor out of a 60 model Mercury Cougar Eliminator.
Out of the damn cop car.
Well, it was totaled, and we pulled the motor out of it and put in that truck, and I had it. I didn't have it very long, and a buddy's dad got it off of us. But it was a legit high boy. It was the last year for that high boy package.
Yep, that was 78.
Yeah.
78 was last year. They didn't do it in 79.
I don't think they made them in 79.
No, they didn't make high boys in 79. No. They didn't market it. They made a truck with some of the features, you know, with the 3/4 ton gearing or the 3/4 ton springs and stuff, but it wasn't offered as the high boy.
Yeah, this one was real nice, man. I should have never got rid of it. I mean, it was a 4-speed.
His was a 390 4-speed Bulldog transmission. You know,
I can't remember what engine was in ours when we got it. It was blowed up when we got the truck was mint, but the motor was blowed up and it spun a rod.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. My buddy just happened. He had 2 of those Mercury Cougars. He had it might not have been an Eliminator. I can't remember which one we bought it out of. The Eliminator might have had a different engine in it. I just remembered it was a Cobra Jet 429 motor that we took out of that car. And it was a long time ago. So
yeah. I remember those days. That's what I had. I had a 78 model 351 Windsor out of a Thunderbird in that 84 XL F-150 I had.
Man, I love them old Fords, man. Them old Fords sound so good.
Oh, dude, yeah. Especially whenever you got a good tuned Holly or Carter, you know, barrel on there.
I think this one came stock with a Carter AFB on it, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say it should have been a Carter or a Holly. I mean, they're the same thing, pretty much.
I think this was a Carter. It might have been, dude. It's been so long.
If it was 78, it most likely came with a Carter, but that's back whenever Carter and Motorcraft and Holly were all sort of combining.
I remember taking the headers and heating them with a torch and beating the headers down around to get it in the truck.
Yeah,
because the car headers hung out too far.
Yeah.
Because it had full-length tube headers from the back.
That 429, that big wide-ass block anyway. You know, it looked like a I don't know. It didn't look like no Rocky Mountain Valley. You know what I mean? It was it was spread out there. That's why I always called them the wide motors.
I remember heating them and putting them in a great big floor vise and beating them to roll them header tubes down without breaking the welds on them to get them to slide up in there. Because that motor came out. It had headers, 4-barrel carb. It was a 4V engine that came out of that.
Yeah.
Boy, she'd run, man. That truck because that truck had 488 gears in it with them 38 groundhogs.
Oh dear God! So you was running. That was like a 625 gear then almost.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that thing was a monster.
I mean, having that low of a gear and then having 38-inch tires on it. Yeah, it had to be up in the sixes. The gear ratio would be.
Dude,
I mean,
fourth gear in that thing running like 45, 50 mile an hour, you could just smash it and she would just go up and smash it.
Yep.
She'd start that up and up and down.
Yeah, because I mean, those were 16-inch tires back then. You didn't have all these 24-inch of wheel and then this little bit of tire. You had big old sidewalls that wanted to give and weighed a lot, and like you see these guys on those like the best 4x4 channel on YouTube. They're running those Nissan Patrols, and you just see them bouncing, going up these hills and stuff. And I'm like, I can do that in a damn square body or in a daggone Ford. I said, you won't be doing it very long. Wham!
There goes your leaf pack. It's done.
Yeah. Well, there went
I broke so many leaves
the spider gear, the pinion shaft, the end of your axle.
Huh?
But hey, give me a minute. I'll be right back. I got to take a dog out. He's whining. Give me a minute, and then we'll go over a few more questions and stuff. You've answered a lot of them already.
Yeah.
So, just give me 5 or so minutes. I'll be right back.
We're good.
He's being whiny ass,
We are.
I'll be right back.
I got you. He says, will you go up and get my snuff out of the floor?
Together compared to Cruiser. Once again, I was looking at different YouTube videos, watching a lot of YouTube videos on the Cruiser, and then I started seeing a couple YouTube videos that had trail finders mixed in with the Cruiser. I said, hey, what's that vehicle? What's that all about? And so I started checking all that out, and I was like, okay, well, maybe that's just a cheap knockoff because you all toys version of a Cruiser. Not necessarily the case. I started doing some research on the Cruiser. I was thinking about buying one. At that time, I think the Cruiser was selling for right around $200. It was pretty expensive just for the kit.
Huh? He's doing a live recording on StreamYard.
Now, this one was pretty expensive too when I purchased this. I want to say it was a little over $400 for this kit, but it was a lot cheaper than the Cruiser. I can tell you that. So, once again, I was doing research on the Cruiser. I started looking at aftermarket parts for the Tamiya Cruiser. Obviously, when you get a new vehicle, it's not going to stay stock for very long before you start beefing it up and building it up. So I wanted to see what kind of aftermarket parts were available for the Toyota Cruiser, the Tamiya Toyota Cruiser. And what I discovered is that the majority of the aftermarket parts of the Tamiya Cruiser were made by RC Full-Drive. So I was like, well, that's kind of weird, eh? The majority of the parts of the Cruiser with the revolver shaft and race springs and drive shafts and different axles and everything else was all made by RC Full-Drive. That got me thinking, if I'm going to buy a vehicle and I'm going to be putting a bunch of aftermarket parts on it, and all the aftermarket parts seem to be made by RC Full-Drive, then why not buy the RC Full-Drive instead? It's the best way to go. Instead of getting the $700 Tamiya, which is right around $1,000 nowadays in 2022, I want to say it's right around $1,100 for that truck, give or take. Going with the Trail Finder 2 was a much better option. Why not go with the company that makes all the modifications for the other vehicles? So RC Full-Drive makes all the aftermarket parts for the most part for the Cruiser. I'm not saying they make all the majority of aftermarket parts made for the Tamiya Cruiser by RC Full-Drive. Go with the RC Full-Drive. Another selling point for the RC Full-Drive vehicle is that this one had a 2-speed transmission with a full drive in 4 gears. So full drive and low range, full drive and high range. The Cruiser has a 3-speed transmission in it, and it's only full drive in first gear. Between my information, I could be wrong on this. I don't own the Cruiser, so I could be wrong on this. If the Cruiser owner out there can step in and wants to correct me on it, feel free. But to my knowledge, the Tamiya Cruiser with a 3-speed transmission, only full drive in first gear, second and third gear are 2-wheel drive. Now that wasn't appealing to me. If I was getting a 4-wheel drive vehicle and it had a 3-speed transmission in it, and it should be full drive and all should be, or at least full drive with second, and then maybe 2-wheel drive for the third gear, just for going out on the street and going wide open, I suppose. But vehicles like this aren't necessarily meant to go fast, so that's a little bit out of the question. But regardless, if I was going to go with a vehicle that had a 2-speed transmission or a 3-speed transmission, I prefer that it was full drive and both speeds.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Had to get me a damn West Virginia steak sandwich too while I was out there. But what size are the Traction Crawler Canyons anyway, or Traxxas Crawler Canyon tires?
The 2.2s you got are, I think, like I'm not sure 100%. They're a 5 or a 4.9 something, 5-inch maybe.
Okay, that's what
the 1.9 Canyon Trail is a 4.6. If you actually measure them, they're a 4.63 with a digital caliper that I have.
I got you.
A lot of manufacturers, you'll pull up their tire specs and then you get them, and they'll end up being smaller, or some of them will end up being bigger.
Yeah, this is a 1.9 4.7. So
that'll be smaller than your 2.2s.
Yeah, big time, 1/2 inch.
Yeah, I think the 2.2s are almost a 5-inch tire.
Well, I'd say they are. I'd have to look on them and see. But yeah, I got a mixed batch of tires from that old boy, but I've got 3 of them are all the same. One of them's different on this one. And these are the Falcon Wild Peak MTs.
Yeah.
Don't feel like this one. I mean, it feels like this one's got foam in it, but they're squishy.
They're not bad tires. I've run them.
And there's a couple. I don't know what these are. They don't have any foams or anything in them. They're Proline high racks.
Now, see, that's what I like. I like the high racks. Are they an actual Proline high racks?
Yeah, it says Proline high racks on it.
That's what I'd run.
Well, I've only got 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
3 of them. No, maybe this one. No, that was. Yeah, I've only got 3 of them, it looks like.
I mean, as far as performance tires go, your J Concepts, the Tusk, the Landmine, the Proline high racks, the Proline crawlers, they're and I would, if you're going to do that, pit crawl zone comp stuff, I'd skip straight to a Predator compound. That's me. That's just what I would run.
In my eyes, to me, it did that.
Also, if you want a really, really, really good performing tire that's still scale, RC 4-wheel drive makes the scale groundhog tire in a 1.9.
Really?
And oh man, that's one of the best tires I've ran. It'll keep up with my Tusk tires.
Really? Trails or rocks, no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, they're killer on the rocks, man. I let a set go. I lowered my Traxxas high trail. I've got a video on my channel. That's what those 2.2s you got come off of was my high trail.
Okay.
And I took them off and I lowered that high trail down and put 90 mil shocks on it. I lowered it to the same height as the stock TRX 4. And I had them groundhogs on that F-150, and that truck just killed it. I mean, it just killed it.
I was just taking a look there at your truck.
Oh yeah, that's the extra cab RC 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. See, that's what I like about the RC 4-wheel drives is the scale stuff about them. The doors open, the trunk
Yep.
open, the hood opens.
Tailgate. Yeah, I mean, it's basically just a real Toyota,
Yeah.
pickup. And this one and the 4Runner's probably my favorites of all their trucks,
Right.
I mean, I like the Blazer and the K10 too. But they don't have the opening doors on them, like the Toyotas do.
Right. Well, that's the thing with the with that one that I've got. The tailgate opens on the bed, and everybody's like, "Why'd you cut the bed off that thing?" I said, "Well, because it doesn't fit."
Right.
I mean, it should fit, but Chris said that he'd shortened the frame down to where it would fit to that body. Well, I guess
but you needed links. You needed links, right?
Well, I just put the links off of F&G on it, which that made it even worse. But what he shortened down was just he bobbed the ends of the frame. He didn't actually shorten the wheelbase.
Okay.
And I mean, it looked good, but it wasn't going to look good whenever I put the links on it. If I'd have shortened the links up, it would have shortened the wheelbase up. Yeah,
right.
But it still just didn't line up correctly on the wheel and the fender wells where the spring perch was and stuff. And doing it this way by putting the flatbed on it, I'll be able to make the wheel wells fit where they're supposed to.
I think the flatbed will look cool on it.
I think it will too. But everybody's like, "Oh man, you ruined that truck." I said, "No, I didn't." Because I've still got the bed and I didn't destroy nothing. Whenever I cut it off, okay. Almost cut it off. My other shocks that I got, but see the bed, I just cut right where the seam was on that body, and it still has the front of the beds there, the working tailgates there, and the floor wasn't in it because for the Gen 7.
He had it cut out already.
Yeah, so that, your shock tires would come up through the bed.
But you could bond that bed back on.
Right, but I don't want the bed, I want to do it like a flatbed. I think it'll help a lot with the way that the truck will actually perform.
Oh, yeah. If you're looking for performance, yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of guys that have flatbed trucks, even bed trucks that are that model, even with that being that new model.
I've got a K10 over here that I built a custom wooden flatbed for.
Right. See, I'm taking that roof tin off the shed that blew away.
Yeah.
It fits. It's wide enough on the, how it goes like that, how it's corrugated or whatever, bent. I can take 2 pieces of it, make it for my fenders, and then down in the middle be flat.
Yeah.
And I think it'll look good because I know what I'm doing. Excuse me, I know what I'm doing whenever I bend metal. Done that from years of screwing with aluminum siding and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I thought that on the Gen 7 Hot RC, when you put the knuckles on there and everything, that it made for better turning angle. Whatever Chris did to that Gen 7 turning angle is way better than the ones Brad had on F&G. Even
did
with
he bend your steering link around?
This is just the rear end ones, but it's not the right one. Hold on, here it is. These right here.
Because we bend the steering links on the Gen 8 and get way more steering out of it.
Now, are these Gen 7 or Gen 8 that's on the Everest?
That's a Gen 7.
Okay, that's the same that's on this one. But I thought with the Hot RC links that you're supposed to get more steering angle out of them. Well, I don't. These right here are nothing compared to the ones on that Gen 7. And all he did was shave that bump stop out.
Yeah, he took the bump stop off.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I did to the Gen 8. You shave your bump stop off, and then you bend your steering link and put spacers in your rod.
Right.
And you'll get 10 times steering radius out. It'll flop them clear over into the side of the chassis.
Right. Okay. But see, I thought that's what the hot racing knuckles was supposed to do. Sorry. And you can't really eliminate that stop because that's where one of the screws is to hold it onto the axles.
Yeah, that's not going to. You're probably better with the stock ones ground down.
Yeah. But I've got this one that whenever I do decide if I want to make a rust bucket a class 3 truck, there I go. I got it. It's not like it's hard to put these on, you know. I've got to put my servo on with my linkage, which I've got linkages, and my shocks and my links. I mean, it don't take 20 minutes to throw this rear end on and make that truck a totally different truck.
Right.
But I was going to ask you there, we talked a lot about everything that's going on and stuff. What did end up getting you into the hobby? Really? Just
well, actually, my brothers, of course, they're older than me. Well, I actually started, it sounds crazy. It's not exactly radio control, but I started clear back. I don't know if anybody will remember Cox Fuel, the old Cox Fuel cars and planes.
You talk about the ones on the string?
Control line. Yeah.
That's I don't think I could have done it, man. I've been sitting there going, and
well, no, my brother had a 57 Chevy, and it was a control line car, and it went on a tether pulley. And believe it or not, clear back then, it was a hard body. It was a 57 Chevy 10th
oh, man.
And how you did it, you had a 6-volt battery, and you took alligator clip wires and clipped to the battery post, and you clipped them on that glow plug.
Right.
And it actually had a metal fuel tank. You spun that back axle on that car and it would start.
Right.
And you get that glow plug warmed up, and you had that tether hooked to it, and you put it on that pulley on that tether pole, and that damn thing, it would just pick up speed. Rom.
Yeah.
That got me started. I was a kid going out when my brothers were running that. And then I got into, dude, even before Tamia, however you want to say it, my dad took me in to the hobby shop in Newton Falls, Ohio, and they had, at the time, the Grasshopper was a pretty popular.
Yeah, that's back whenever I was wanting to get into the hobby as a kid. It was the Grasshopper 2 had just come out. Yeah.
But they had the Red Arrow and the Golden Arrow and the Timberwolf buggies there. And they were Radio Shack, but they had the exact same upgradable setup that Tamia had on those Grasshoppers.
Right.
You could put the same, like, what do you call it? Mabauchi. I don't know how you say their motor upgrade that they ran back then. But we couldn't afford, because back then the Tamiya was real expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Dad bought me that Red Arrow buggy, and I went on Tower Hobbies back in the day, and then we bought all the upgrade parts, and I put them in that Radio Shack. And I would go down here to the local track when I was a kid and race that Red Arrow against the other, hobby grade quotations, but technically that Red Arrow buggy was just as much hobby grade by Radio Shack back then, because this kind of shit didn't exist. You know what I mean? It was right. And I fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with the hobby at that point, and I was a kid, so, I had like the Tyco Bandits. I had the Tyco Typhoons. I had the Tyco Fast Tracks that had the tank track style on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember
would
that.
do a bunch of work for people and get money, and then Dad would help me buy stuff and
Right.
a little bit, as long as I paid and helped. And I got a bunch of different. I had everything, throughout the years, and then I got into the nitro stuff. When I was like I said, that hobby shop we were talking about before. It was called Speed Bills.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went in there and hung out with them guys, and we started racing the nitro, the Traxxas Revo when it come out, and the T-Maxes, and we raced monster truck class for probably about a year, 2 years, and got into the truggies and the buggies, and we raced the fifth scale gas stuff in Ohio.
Right.
At the BMX track, and then they shut that down because of noise. And
yeah,
I just, dude, the hobby, man, was just I love the hobby because, look, I've had friends that, it sounds stupid to maybe some people, but I had friends that were in bad ways in life that I've got into RC, and I'm like, look, if you start RC, you're not going to have the money to buy other shit to get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean? So there's been friends of mine that, it sounds stupid maybe to some people, but RC kind of saved them in a way.
I can see that. I know a few people that's been that way myself.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a distraction too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you go out in the woods. That's why I love crawlers so much, because you're just out. You go out in the woods, man. You're just out. You know what I mean? Watching the truck move. It's relaxing to me.
Yep. I agree.
I don't. But I mean, people. Because I mean, if you're not in the hobby, it's hard for people to understand.
That's like most hobbies, But
well,
it's more. It seems more to me like it is in RC. Like it's harder to understand the pull toward it. You know what I mean? If they don't understand it,
right? I mean, well, I've gotten a few people, into it here. Different places I've worked, and and I'm like, and I mean, they are toys to me. I don't necessarily consider them. Every hobby is a toy, even if you have a 78 CJ7 or whatever CJ7 Jeep that you've built, and you're not driving it every day. I'm sorry, that's a toy.
Yep, it's mud toy.
I mean, there's no difference in any hobby. They're all, unless it's something that you need to get by every day. It's a hobby. It's all going to be considered a toy.
Yep.
I don't necessarily consider the hobby.
Lost you there, bub.
Just from Ally Express, and there's a link in the other video where I'm running it on the course. And I will be doing an update video of going over elements on the course as well and showing you guys these tires are absolute winner in my opinion. You're getting almost a G8 compound, pro line. Yeah,
still there when you have battery end up dying.
The problem that I had was running the.
I was like, wait a minute, froze. I said, "Are you playing a mime trick on me, or are you froze?" And he didn't answer. So I was like, "Man, he's good."
Man, I don't know what happened. We got Chantel here, and it normally don't go off, but we lost internet for some reason.
Dude, I'll tell you what, with everything going on in the world right now, it's hard to tell.
That's true. I've got unlimited data on the phone, so I just swapped over to the data.
Right.
But yeah, man. I mean, I've literally had
there tomorrow about UFOs. There's something supposed to be big happening today or tomorrow about UFOs.
Really?
Yeah. There's been a bunch of drone stuff been around our air bases and stuff over in Europe.
Really?
And over top of Washington, D.C., there was a sighting last night or night before last of a huge UFO right over top of the Capitol.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, dude, check it out. Just look up UAVs or UAP over
UAP.
UAP over Washington, and then there was one. I sent it to my daughter. She hadn't replied yet. My daughter lives in Phoenix, and there was a huge sighting over Phoenix last night too.
Sometimes I wonder if that stuff is the government, though.
It is, and it's part of Project Blue Book.
I've researched that a lot.
A lot of different things. It's got MK Ultra stuff in it. It's got Stargate stuff in it. It's got Star Wars back from Reagan era stuff. You know, I mean, yeah. You don't want to get me started. I got to start a whole new channel for that one.
I follow all kinds of that stuff, man. Listen, my son and I had an experience on our front deck. For the life of me, man, I don't know what it was,
right?
But dude, it was maybe 60 feet above our heads, the size of the house, and it was a flying triangle.
Yep.
With a big red light in the middle of it.
That right there, I can go ahead and tell you that is government.
That's what I figured.
No, it is. It's already been come out here in the past couple years with those whistleblowers and stuff. David Grush stuff. Not him, but Greer.
That Lou Renzonga, whatever his name is.
Dude, all these whistleblowers that are coming out, they still have to watch what they say. They're not whistleblowing. They're giving you what is wanted to hear. Now,
that's
Greer,
what I say.
Now, Greer, on the other hand, I know this man. Okay.
Yeah,
and
Stephen Greer.
I couldn't figure out how I knew Greer, but the man looks like I know it's him because the man that I sold a car to used to be an ER surgeon, which David Greer is what he was. Lived in Baltimore in the DC area, you know. His name was Greer. Back whenever I was selling cars up here at C&O, Love Toyota. And he was sketchy. He didn't want a whole lot of his information out there. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it wasn't he was sketchy. It was just he was careful. And, you know, whenever you're in that business and you got people acting that way, you know, you're like, this dude's something more than what he says he is. He's more important, you know what I mean?
Right.
What he's letting on. And come to find out, that's him. I went back through all my paperwork, and it's him. One of those.
Is it Stephen Allen Greer? Is that his name?
Stephen Greer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to watch his back in 1996.
Oh, back whenever he was actually part of the government. Whenever he was in the Air Force, one of the admirals in the Air Force or whatever, you know, general or whatever the heck the big wig is in the Air Force. I remember. Yeah.
Yep.
See,
that's crazy stuff, man.
What year was you born?
I was born in 81.
Oh, damn, you're a pup.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm older than I am. I
figured you were my age, you know what I mean? But you're 4 years younger than me. I'm 77 model. You know what I mean? So we're still right there close. We both raised up in the good times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We were lucky, man. That's what I say.
Oh, yeah. Come home. Get out of the house whenever your ass gets up. Get out of the house. Don't come home till the porch lights come on. And I was lucky enough that our porch light, if you was coming from Sissville or coming from Cross Lanes, my porch light was seen by both of them as soon as you come into that valley. And it always was a little bit later coming on, so we always used mine. You know what I mean?
I still think things were so much better back then.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We're still part of the Nintendo. We are the Nintendo and the Atari generation. But we were still made to go outside.
Yep.
And play.
I gamed. I can't say I didn't game. I used to be in the MLG network. I used to major league game in competitions and stuff, you know, later on in life. But we still went out and rode bikes and
dude, we pushed our stuff. Hi, buddy. Okay, Mom kicked you out and she tired of hearing you whine? Huh? All right, go ahead. She's going to bed anyway. But yeah, dude, I made it as far as a PlayStation 1 is whenever I quit gaming, pretty much. I did end up getting a PlayStation 2, and I do have an Xbox 360. But
I went clear up to the Xbox One, and when all of the gaming went online, mostly, I said,
yeah,
no.
Go down.
I just, I couldn't do it no more.
Get up there and lay down.
I'd rather invest my money that I have in the RC hobby.
Hands on. Now, yeah. Now, see, there's a way to add gaming to the RC hobby, and that's the FPV. And
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting ready to get back into it. I got to fix the one that I had for PMAX, the little one that I made out of the drone.
It's so expensive.
Well, see, that's the thing. You buy one of those little eSheen 99 drones, you can get them for like $50, brand new.
Yeah, I had one here. Yeah,
I got two of them. Well, I have parts of two of them because I lost mine. I was flying in the backyard. I was doing good. I was like, shoot, I'm gonna go up. Well, I forgot that this house, I haven't lived here but just a couple of years, that when the wind blows, you don't really feel it in the backyard, but once of the level of the back of the house,
you're in that airstream.
Dude, it went up and it went that way. I was like, and I just hit land, you know what I mean? I just went down. I went on the next neighborhood over, talked to everybody. The only person that I wasn't able to speak to or look on their property, I don't guess he lives there or he's not home all the time, like he goes away for work or something.
Right.
And, he said, I'll check whenever I get home, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Because the neighbor got a hold of him and gave him my information and stuff. He said, well, I never did find it. And I think it's because he hadn't been home because I hadn't noticed anything going on over that way.
Right.
And I was gone one day and she said, well, a neighbor from back behind us come over and handed me this. And this was already after she'd ordered it for me for helping her do something, just being a cool mom, what I mean?
Right.
Now she got a good deal on it. She did. But she'd luckily got the insurance on it, you know what I mean? So
right.
She'd already ordered it, sent in the replacement and got the replacement. Well, I had two drones. One of them didn't work so well no more because it'd been laying outside for 2 weeks in the weather, and the other one worked, and then they both didn't work. And I said, well, this one still hooks up to the phone. So I'm taking the board and the battery out of this sucker.
That's what I did.
Case, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, you don't have the head sensor and this, that, and the other.
No.
But you want to get good FPV footage, as long as you're not too far away. It's a decent camera. It's nothing awesome.
Yep.
It's not a GoPro or nothing like that, or a 360 or whatever, but it gets good enough to where you can show some good FPV footage. And if you want to, you can get one of the DJI head tracking units or whatever, if you want to pay the money. But you can get where they're making them now to where they're head tracking and stuff.
I watched the one with that RC girl she had on, but over $600, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. But here's
and then you got it. What are you going to do? You can't mount that. If you mount it on top, you're going to if you roll it over, you're going to break it.
They're pretty durable. But they're made.
You're not going to be able to run a body though. It's going to look goofy.
Right. Now if you got clear windshield, or no windshield,
or no windshield,
real FPV view, it'd be good for scale guys like you because, Elaine, what's his name? He's both of our friends on Facebook. I think he does the RC 4-wheel driver RC, and it's got the Chinese yellow star and orange star on his logo.
RC
No, it's not him. This old boy does animatronics. with his.
I don't know that one. I don't think.
I'll send you a link to his profile so you can check it out. I'm talking driving, head moving, arm hanging out the window, waving.
Oh no, I watch him. I've seen him.
Yeah. I mean,
he's using the one with the camera mounted to the driver's head.
Yeah. Well, you can do that with with that DJI one. You can do that as well.
I wonder what the price is on that.
It's pretty good,
Yeah.
but I like the way that me and you did it by making it modular. You can put it in whatever truck you want, on top of the truck, whatever. And, you're using a $50 drone board and battery. If it breaks, it's not hard.
That's the video I have on there that says shot from the battle wagon.
Yeah.
That is the one that I did like you with the drone. But that camera got broke down there. It fell off of a 60-foot rock cliff, and Brad's
How
Steven's
long ago was
RC, his Wraith fell on top of it and busted the processor thing for the camera.
Y'all just had a pile up at the bottom.
Yeah, and it broke that. It did pretty good footage. It even had a gyro in it to stabilize.
Oh, really? See, this one.
It was almost a $300 drone that got away from me. The battery went dead in the handset, and I was doing a video surveying around the block up here where I'm at, and when the battery crashed in that handheld, it just took off into the telephone pole, hit the telephone pole, deflected off the telephone pole, and come down the guide wires, and bam, 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 right to the road.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt the camera or anything, but it destroyed the drone. It was a bigger drone that I had.
Right.
It wasn't one of the small ones. It was a...
Right, yeah. It had the legs on the bottom of it.
Yeah. It was like a DJI clone.
Yeah. I know exactly. I had one of them.
But it had a LiPo battery in the hands in the transmitter. That thing never alarmed or anything. It said full battery charged on the transmitter, and it was like you snapped your fingers. Battery dead. The drone beeped, and I had it set to return to home.
But it's not going to return to home.
It just took off.
Took off on a
like wide open.
Yeah. A runaway, what they call it in RC.
Yeah, runaway. But I had the return to home feature programmed on it. I don't know why it did that.
It must have reset the whole system. I don't know.
Dude, that thing was nice. It had a 1080 HD camera with a gyro in it. It had the return to home function, went to the Bluetooth supposedly on my phone. It didn't link back to the transmitter.
Now, is that did you happen to post that video? Oh no.
I don't think I posted that one. I had the one
6 months ago. This one I'm looking at now 6 months ago. Said flight test.
Yeah.
Flight practice.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about my Roku. See, I can't comment or anything whenever I'm using my Roku. That's the reason whenever I say I watch a lot of stuff for entertainment, that's my TV's
Right.
YouTube. You know what I mean? And
Same here.
And I can't, post, I can't comment or anything unless I get on the phone. And whenever I get on the phone, it's a lot of work to me. Whenever I'm relaxing, I want to relax.
Yeah, same here.
And now whenever I'm running and doing research on something, I've got the TV on one channel, and I've got the computer on one channel, and I got my phone on the other channel, all watching the same kind of videos at once and seeing who's bullshitting and who ain't. You know what I mean?
Yep. I do the same thing.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's why I like the community, is because most of the guys, like you was talking about earlier, or we was talking about earlier, will help and will answer you. Guys like that. But there's a certain set that's right there in the middle that are just not that not that willing to help people out whenever they have the knowledge about it. Or
I've noticed you've got that about where I'm at, like 2,400 subs. When you break that sub 4,000 or 5,000, and you start getting, if you're monetized and you start getting that, because a lot of companies, how it works, FMS, Red Cat, RC 4-wheel drive, I think you got to be way up there, but like Red Cat and FMS, they like require you to have like 3,200 subs,
right,
and so many watch hours. What was crazy with them, Red Cat came to me a while back, and they were talking to me and wanted me to start off with the small scale stuff,
right?
And I almost did it, but my whole thing, when you become sponsored, sometimes I feel like you get disconnected from the RC community.
I can see why.
I have trouble putting faith, even if I'm not saying you're getting paid by the manufacturer. I'm saying if somebody's sending you free stuff,
that's still paid.
It's yes.
Yeah. That's why
Are you really, really going to tell the truth about it?
Well, there are some RC channels. RC Dungeon on YouTube is one of them, folks. And WV Rednecks RS is another one. 2FMRC is one. Matt will tell you the way it is, no matter what. Even if they've give it to him or whatever, you notice that,
right?
And that's the way I am. Look, I'm going to give you the truth and knowledge of what I have, and I'm going to give you what I think, no matter if it's good or bad.
Well, here's what I ran into.
If you want to quit sending me stuff because I'm going to give you the review that I'll give you, then so be it.
This is what I ran into. I had a Traxxas X-Max I bought with my own money. Basically bought with my own money. Brand new. And I had 2 videos up on my channel of that X-Max. And I am nowhere near associated with anybody.
Right.
And I did a running review on the second video of that X-Max. And I personally wasn't impressed with the X-Max. For a $1,600 truck, I wanted more from it. In my personal opinion.
Here's my opinion with Traxxas line of everything.
They made me take that video down.
They made you take it down?
They made me take that video down.
Why?
Because it painted Traxxas in an unfair light, basically.
But why was you
wasn't trashing it. I just went on and said, for $1,600, I expected more from the truck. Basically.
And you were made to take videos down because of that.
Yep. Traxxas contacted YouTube. YouTube contacted me. And they flagged the video. I had to go in there. They left me keep the first one up.
Okay.
But the second one, when I did the review and my thoughts on the truck, they made me pull it.
Really?
They basically said I had no dog in the fight, you could say. I wasn't sponsored by Traxxas. There was no reason for me to go on there and give my opinion, basically. That's why I lost a lot of respect for Traxxas.
Aren't they sure what the platform that we're on right now is made from?
Just telling you, man, they made me pull it. You can go on my channel and you can go through, and I think I have that video labeled as part 1. I had
part 2. I watched them. Okay, I was wondering.
Made me take it down. That was Traxxas.
I mean, what was their reasoning that they was able to have them take it down? Because it wasn't.
I don't know. I don't know if they just.
It wasn't any permissions needed to be given. You paid for the vehicle out of your pocket. You're allowed to give a review on anything the hell you want.
They made me take it down.
Wow.
If I can find the emails from
Ain't
YouTube,
no wonder you're into the
I'll
Big
send them
Brother
to you.
stuff like I am. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you
That
see it.
was very disheartening to me because I didn't look. The X-Max is a solid truck and it's fun and all.
They're great.
I was just saying for $1,600, it isn't what I expected the truck to be. The way everybody built it up.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
And I didn't say anything negative really about the entire platform. And the sad part is I had Tracks of Slash reviews where I absolutely loved the Tracks of Slash.
Oh, they're sweet. They're a sweet short course truck.
Never was anything said about it. But I said one slightly negative thing about how I thought you didn't get enough for your money about the X-Max, and they made me pull.
Well, see, there's another YouTuber that's well, actually YouTube family that have said the same thing, and they're local to us too. Actually, they're more local to me than they are to you, but they're from right there in Portsmouth, RC Sailors.
Yes,
I think they're near Portsmouth. I know they're Eastern Ohio somewhere.
Yep.
But they've had the same situation happen with Traxxas.
Really?
Yeah, have been made to take down videos.
Yeah, but they're sponsored by them, aren't they?
I don't know if they are now. They maybe they were back then.
I wouldn't accept. Don't get me wrong, man. I love the TRX.
I have to do my research and look on that because there's a couple videos that talk about it that they've done, and it's been over the past year or so that I've watched them. And I don't know if I've watched older videos and saw them talking about it, or if it's been stuff posted within the past year or so. I do want to make sure to lay that out there.
Well, and I don't have anything negative against. Look, man, I have one.
Dude, they're a great company. Dude, I think that they charge a little bit too much for the lack of innovation that they have, even though that's what made Traxxas into what they are now was the innovation. And they're just relying on the same old from 5, 6, 8 years ago.
I agree.
I mean,
I love the TRX4.
The Mini Max. Come on, Traxxas. It comes with the B2LS system. It can't even go 3S.
Nope.
And you're charging as much as they are for the Arlo Terminator Carbon Fiber Edition. That's 10 times the truck. Got a heck of a lot bigger motor. Don't get me wrong. The parts availability from Arlo sucks. There's no aftermarket parts for that truck whatsoever.
Right.
None. And getting the parts takes a while because it's usually got to come all the way from mainland, across Pacific. And don't get me wrong, there's some stuff that they could do a little bit better. And I've actually, I'm in that Facebook group on Facebook, Arlo, one of them. And I flat out told them, I tagged all the Arlos in that group that I'm friends with. It was like, here, look, this is just coming from a new guy.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the reason I'm doing this whole podcast is to let new people have a place to go to learn a little bit of something. You know what I mean? To get to know the people that they're watching in the hobby and be able to hopefully talk to some of these manufacturers and get their word out to them. What the new people want to know.
And I know I say a lot of good things about RC four-wheel drive, but look, I haven't had a good standing with RC four-wheel drive either.
Right.
I tried when the TF3 came out. It had a lot of problems. Main thing was the steering. And I have several videos where my buddy and I came up and we machined an aluminum mount to move the steering to the chassis in the front and fixed all that problem. Took him and I about a month or so. We come up with it. 2 TF3 trucks.
Right.
Great trucks after that. You won't hardly find a better RC four-wheel drive, in my opinion. It's more scale. It has a real style Toyota chassis. It's real scale.
Right.
It's on the lines close to the old Tamiya Bruiser chassis, like a real Toyota.
Right. Okay.
But I contacted RC four-wheel drive. At the time, I was monetized. I had around probably a little over 2,000 subs. And I'm like, They were having trouble with sales in the TF3. I said, we fixed this problem. We made 4 of the front chassis mount for that TF3.
Right.
I'm like, I'm willing. Why? Because this is the main complaint everybody had for the truck is the steering.
Right.
I'll send you that. You can make a mass production. Just send me some stuff to test on the channel. I'll mail it back to you. Send me some stuff to do RC four-wheel drive videos with. I'll even mail the stuff back to you, and I'll pay to mail. I'll pay to ship it back.
Right.
They laughed in my face, like, well, your channel's basically a joke. Basically, is what they. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm like.
Let me guess.
Like,
they come out with that
primarily RC four-wheel drive. I mean, I've got hours and hours and hours and hours of your products on my channel. I mean, I'm already
supporting you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I won't even keep it. I'll just
send it back.
Yeah, dude, I have talked.
Wow.
50 people in the area into buying RC four-wheel drive trucks.
And you know what? I'm from your area, and it's hard to find 50 people in our area close enough to get together and actually do stuff. That's the reason me and you haven't been able to, is because, you know, you're working all the dang time, and me and the state of West Virginia had a disagreement. They said I couldn't drive, and I was like, how the hell y'all know? Y'all ain't never rode with me. They didn't laugh as hard as I did, you know.
I just don't understand, though, man. I mean, I understand the big channels and they get the views.
Yeah.
But smaller guys are promoting their products, man. Actually, in my opinion, going out and making the scale videos, in my opinion, is promoting their product more than those big guys sitting on the channel talking about it.
Yeah. That's like this. I mean, I promote Mofo RC a lot. You want to know why? Because they're a great company. They don't get
I don't want anybody to. I think RC four-wheel drive is a great company. Yeah. I've never had not a single problem.
Right.
Something breaks, something ain't right. They take care of me like that.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard that with RC four-wheel drive. But, you know, it's just wild that, you know, they just looked at you funny whenever, you know, you're already.
Oh, no, there was literally a laugh out loud in the email.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was someone that I talked to a lot.
Really?
At RC four-wheel drive. We had talked back and forth about the steering problems, and I'm like, look, I have the fix for it. It's a very solid mount. We had months and months of testing.
And video show it
to make sure it was going to hold up and not break.
And
you guys have the manufacturing process to make this beautiful, to make a really nice, pretty mount. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All you'd have to do is the next round of them TF3s, put that mount in the front in your RTR. They literally basically laughed.
Let me guess, they came out with something close to it right after that.
They discontinued the TF3.
Still hadn't fixed it. Huh.
They just discontinued the platform because all the big YouTube channels went on. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love Scale Builders Guild and those guys, but they went on there shitting on it. They went on there, this truck's junk, it won't steer, the steering's terrible, blah, blah, this and that. And I'm like, it's got a way better for the cult guys out there. I know they'll understand this. Your weight bias of that 60-40 on a chassis. That TF3 is way better weight bias than one of these TF2s. Those have a 60-40 weight bias perfect out of the box.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
On the TF3. So it just performs better because
no matter what,
your balance is better.
Right. Right.
I got so much criticism on that on my channel on that TF3 because all the big YouTubers, everybody, I call them the RC gods.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I love those guys too. You know what I mean? No, I don't, because I don't want nobody to get mad at me. I love Scale Builders Guild.
Right.
But if those big channels that got all that free stuff handed to them hand over fist would get on there and we'll fix this, they didn't. They didn't address the problems. They didn't try to give people ideas of making it better. They just was like, oh, well, the steering sucks, so don't buy it.
Right.
And I'm like, but you can fix that easily. It takes 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why I started realizing, hey, man, a lot of the smaller channels, you'll get a little, in my opinion, you get a little more information when it comes to mechanical knowledge for stuff.
Yeah.
Than I think you do a lot of the bigger channels.
Because we got into it for the love of this and learning how to do stuff.
And they're in the love of it for free shit and money.
A lot of them, yeah. I'm here for the new guys because I got into this by watching, like I was saying, you know, by watching your channel and watching Cape Crawlers, Adam, Joe, you know, XOK, Scale Builders.
I love the Exo Cage channel.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Joe puts it out there. He's like us, man. He'll tell you, you know, pretty much flat out the way he feels about it. You know, and he'll tell you if I'm wrong. Tell me how I am. Just, you know, that's cool. You know, that's what I like.
But the problem is, man, if you go being honest all the time, you're not going to get that product support.
No.
It just ain't going to happen.
You won't. And you know what? Oh, well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just kind of sucks for the guys that try to, you know what I mean?
Right.
I kind of wish, in a way, when Red Cat was offering me that stuff, I would have considered it.
Right.
But my thing is, I'm like, guys, if you send me the small stuff, I don't know how many people is going to watch my channel because I'm primarily 110 stuff.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how many people would watch. You know, I had guys messaging me when I was getting into the more comp stuff. Like, come on, man. What happened to your scale stuff? And I'm like, well, I'm doing it all, but I got to have breaks. Right. I want to address the whole hobby. You know what I mean? I don't want to just be stuck in one corner or something.
Right.
But, you know, some guys are like that. Scale guys are and I don't want to make anybody mad, but scale guys can be some of the
biggest.
They're so, like, a lot of the scale guys are like, oh, well, that's a Lex and body. I'm like, dude, you can make a Lex and body look good.
I got proof. I mean, one look good.
You can make a Lex and body look real good.
That ascent body that I got off Brad.
Yeah.
You know, where I hand painted it, you know, put the mud texture mud on it and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it looks good.
You can make a Lex and body look pretty good and scale it out. But there's some guys that I've seen some bigger channels.
Purist, you know.
Take Lex and bodies and smash them down with a hard body. And I'm like, why do you have to promote negativity? That's my whole thing. Why do you have to? I mean, why can't you just be like, okay, it's not my thing. But why get on there and make videos and
make people feel bad about what they're trying to do?
Facebook, basically, is what I mean.
Right, I got you.
You know, I just don't like to see negativity in the RC community, and you're gonna have it no matter what and anything. But like Chevy guys and Ford guys and Toyota guys and Jeep. I mean, I'm a Jeep guy, but I love a Toyota.
Right, I do too. Hey, that's the reason. The reason I like Toyotas is I watched them as a kid growing up, watching what they did. But I started selling cars in the year 2001 in August, middle of the year. Or middle of the month, August. And I was selling cars the day that the three things hit the three things up there in New York and Washington. Yeah. I was working and I'd only been selling cars a month. But in between that time, I had to learn everything that there was to know about Toyota cars. That was my general sales manager's requirement for me to sell for him, and he knew how to do it, you know. And I sold 32 cars that month, I led the board for the whole dealership up till the last day, and well, we won't talk about that. But, is what it is. But the reason that I was able to sell as many cars as I was because it changed me from being against Toyotas to dearly loving them. Because you know, the research the way I went into research was I went in to, all right, I got to know everything about this vehicle, but I got to know everything about its competitors too.
Right.
You know, 10 or 12 different Toyota cars at the time, you know, because they were just introducing Scion and all this. And then you had the Lexus Model 2. Then you had Nissan, you had Honda, you had Chevrolet, you had Ford, you had Dodge.
Yep.
You know, Hyundai was coming in around that time. You had Subarus. And you had to learn everything about the whole car world.
I've never been just one. I mean, I love Ford.
I'm a Ford guy. You know, I'm not a chevrolet guy, but I've had Fords, I've had Chevys, I've had Dodges, I've had Nissans, I've had Toyotas.
Nissan. But when I was going to car meets and stuff, I never crapped on somebody else's. I had a Mustang.
Oh, no, I give Chevy guys hell. I give Chevy guys hell all the time. But it's just because I'm a Ford guy, and it's just the battle, you know what I mean?
But some of them guys take that stuff so serious.
I know, right? Corvette guys are the worst, man.
Yes,
dude, Corvette guys are the worst. I'm telling you. And
I know.
Don't get me wrong. This comes from a car salesman, and whenever I had somebody come in, either had a vet or wanted a vet, I made them go talk to my buddy Steve down at the Corvette Center down at C&O Motors. That's who I made him talk to. That's what I said. Here you go, Coach. You can have them. I don't want them. You want to know who's another hard customer? Worse, I mean, just as bad. Toyota Prius customers in the year 2001. Oh yeah!
Wow.
Straight far left.
I can't do that.
Hippie, you know. I mean, dude, they knew exactly what they were paying for that car, and that's what they were paying for because they looked it up on the internet.
Yeah.
Or as that one, you know, commercial says, you believe everything you hear from the internet. He's from France. Bonjour. Yeah. Okay.
They were good cars, though.
Oh, yeah, except for the power system in the first and second generation of those Priuses. Were sketch as hell, dude. All right? Yeah. I mean, they were. You were riding
caught on fire.
All right, you see the videos of the lipos catching on fire from RCs. All right, imagine sitting on top of about 5,000 of those.
Yeah,
that's where the batteries were. Was in the trunk behind it and under the seats.
I had a buddy had one catch on fire.
Oh my God, dude!
He had a second gen, I think's what he had.
Yeah, first and second ones, they were. I mean, whew.
I can't remember what year. What was the second gen? Like 2005, 6?
No, 2001. No, 2000. Yeah, 2001 is whenever they changed over to the second generation because they come out in 90.
He had an 02 or 03.
96. Yeah. That was the ones from the very beginning to right in there to that body style is the ones that caught on fire. Now 2004, I think, whenever they switched over to the third generation Prius, whenever they had to.
That's what he's got now. That's what he's got now.
Yeah.
Even if it catches on fire, he went and bought another one. Yeah. But he's not a left type dude. He's
right.
It's crazy. He's a hardcore redneck type.
Cars. It's got the motor, the gasoline powered engine. Is actually, if it wasn't in a Prius, it would be made right here in Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But where it's in a Prius, it's one of those direct from Japan cars. That's 100. It's actually 97% made in Japan, and the rest of it's made in Mexico because that's where the electrical connectors come from.
Yeah.
Hey
man, I don't have a problem with imports. They make some nice stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, I love the old BMW.
The old BMW
325, like the 80s. You know, the sport 325i's or whatever.
318i, 320.
Yeah. Little convertibles, you know, that the little girls run around in the movies. Well, were badass cars, dude. No matter if it had a pretty little girl in it or not.
Yeah,
you know, them things was made direct on the Autobahn at heavy speed.
My buddy had a 318i, and that thing was a brick.
Dude, I'm telling you what, those are badass cars. I'll put a picture up here in a minute, whenever I get done editing and stuff. I'll figure it out. Because I mean, those were badass cars, and I'm getting one of those whenever I get a rally car. I'm getting that Bernardo Omni Terminator, little big brother, whatever, the rally car version of the Terminator. I'm getting it, but I'm getting that body put on it. I swear my hand to God, dude, I am, because those things, it drives like one of them. You know what I mean? And old minis, the ugly old minis, the 70s ones. It's got that little.
We had
roll,
one.
You put that little bit of a top heavier mountaineer body on that thing, and it's going to have that roll, and it's just going to look so wicked.
We had one of those with a Ford Z-Tech supercharged ZX3 Focus engine in it.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that thing would freaking fly.
Oh, dude, you think?
No, dude, it was crazy. We only had it for about 3 months.
My neighbor across the street from me, he was into those, and he had that motor in one of his Focuses. It was a little, just
2-door hatchback.
Yeah. I mean, just a little one. You know what I mean? And
they're rockets on wheels.
Oh my God, he'd take off. He still got it. Matter of fact, he just lives down the road from me again now. But
we had that in what year was there a thing with Mini and Ford?
Okay, that was late 60s, early 70s.
That sounds right. It had the roll up by hand.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's late 60s, early 70s. Yep.
A guy built that car
too, wasn't it? Wasn't Fiat in on that?
It was like a Ford and Fiat combination.
Yeah.
But a guy in North Carolina built that car. He put that Ford Focus. It was out of I'm wanting to say maybe like a 2003 ZX3. It was the supercharged motor.
Right. Yeah.
And he had the CV axle, front end, all that stuff was underneath that little Fiat.
Oh, sweet.
It was stupid fast, dude. But you couldn't keep it in the road for nothing.
Oh, I guarantee it, dude. It's a go-kart with a damn supercharged motor on it. What do you expect?
I don't know what kind of horsepower that thing. We only had it for like 2 or 3 months, and I traded that thing for a Ford Focus. I mean, a Honda Civic with a K24 CRV engine in it.
Oh, nice.
I was into the tuner cars,
dude. That's what them old boys over in Australia talk about all the time. Is them K4s.
That's what we had a K24 in a 92 EG Civic.
Yeah, the SUV ones. The SUV ones. Yeah, and the van ones.
Yeah.
The Odysseys and
I think it was out of an Odyssey, maybe. I can't remember. Yeah. My buddy went to the junkyard, brought the motor back with the PCM and all that stuff, ECU. And I had a 92. I traded for that 92. That EG had a B18 in it, and I over revved it and spun a rod bearing, and because it had a 2-step on it, right back then, and it was a homemade 2-step,
mechanical 2-step.
Yeah,
really.
I was running it off the VTEC switch.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
It was hooked to It was hooked to a shift light on a tack.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just watched a video with something about that on that.
That's an old school VTEC trick.
Well, I don't remember what channel. I don't remember what I was watching because a lot of times you get that whatever comes on next. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
my buddy could pull the pins out of the ECU with a pair of tweezers.
Yeah.
And reprogram. He could flash that ECU to run those VTECs and change the torque curve of that VTEC.
Right.
And that VTEC would pull all the way higher through the RPM band.
Right. You get a better throttle curve and you get a better torque curve all at the same time.
But it is hard on them.
Dude.
B18 got high, dude.
They're aluminum motors and they're not very well cooled. You know, I mean, that's one thing about the K series is they do have some cooling to them. You know what I mean? More than the other one.
You couldn't put a hood on that Civic that I had because we homemade the motor mounts and the valve cover was up above the fender line. It was a redneck Frankenstein.
Hey,
my gosh, that
redneck engineering, son. Redneck engineering. Where'd we get it? Growing up playing with big trucks.
My buddy was like, dude, that thing looks like a hobbled to cobbled piece of shit. He had a 2001 Mustang GT. Dude, that thing would blow the doors off that 01 GT. I'd leave him sitting, give him rolling start car lengths, and just blow by him.
Now, dude, I'll tell you what, my buddy had a Plymouth Laser, had a 96 Plymouth Laser, and I had a 98 Ford Ranger GT. It was lower.
Oh, yeah, the 2.9 with the tunnel ram intake. I had one.
That motherfucker was shit and get, son. I'm telling you.
Yes, they will.
Put them Hoosier GT radials on it, you know, them old 15,000 mile, 30,000 mile. Oh, my God, dude.
You're the only other person I've talked to that had a Ranger GT. Those are rare.
Dude, the boy down here at Kroger's, you had to have seen it whenever you was coming down in here back in the day. Had a convertible one. It was white. Had a black.
Oh, yeah, I seen that one.
He was always sitting right beside Kroger's right here in the cross lanes, man. Yeah.
Yep.
He was the only other person I ever had seen one.
Dude, I had one.
Have you ever heard of Pinacre Swimming Hole in Brown Elkview area, Clay area?
I don't know where that's at.
Well, ask around and do some finding out if you got any buddies down toward, this end of Clay County and Jackson County.
I do have some friends. Yeah,
all right, that's about Pinacre, all right? It's up Quick Holler. And you come down in and go underneath the train trestle, and you're coming into Quick Holler. I can't remember what creek it is. But you turn down, and you got to drive down the creek till you can get up onto the bank. Well, right there when you get up on the bank, it's an old coal mining or logging road, what it is. And you get up over there onto the first flat right there by the creek. Well, you drive down it, you pass the pipeline, go straight up a hill, you know, and you come through, and then you stop, and you got this set of mud holes that's 125 foot long, and then you got a short little one that's got trees growing out of it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to drop down in that if trees wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying? You never.
Right.
And I'm in a 2-wheel drive Ranger GT. 215, 205 Hoosier GT radials on it, you know.
Yeah, that's what they were small.
400DX strapped into the back of it. They said, how you getting across that? I said, move the fuck back out the way, guys, okay? Sorry. But back up. They said, what are you doing? I put rewind on that damn gear shift, and I let on that clutch, backed up to the pipeline there, and I said, y'all stay the hell out of the way. I'll be here in a second.
Let it eat.
That old mud hole skipped across it like a rock on the damn lake, son. Just tink, 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 tink. You know that air dam on the front of that truck there. It was bent up whenever I come out of that mud hole. That air dam was bent up like that, about that much. It had a frowny face the rest of its life.
Boy, them little trucks would run, dude.
Oh my God, dude. And handle. Oh, all right. Now I know you know where Amma's at.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, well, if you come back from Amma, come back to Elkview on the back road.
Yeah.
All right, the one right there that hooks the frame road.
I delivered down there all the time.
All right, well, if you're coming from Elkview back toward Amma, you know, when you're coming up that big, long hill and you get to the top of it and there's that big wide spot right there?
Yep.
Well, me and a couple of buddies of mine was in that Ranger. Now, mind you, I was 300-some pounds whenever I had that truck, okay?
And there ain't a lot of room in the cab of them.
My other two buddies, one of them was about 285 and the other one was about 250, all right? So we was snuggled up real good and tight up in that truck. Well, we went to Budget Records, which just sold. They closed Budget Records down. And
I know what you're talking about.
Well, we used to go up in there and get our smoking utensils for our tobacco products, per se. Well, a buddy of ours had this one per se smoking vessel that was a Grim Reaper, and it was just holding the bowl right there, and you hit it out of his head.
Yeah,
it's phenomenally, and we had to go up there and get one. Well, we all had a little bit of something in our pocket, and we was like, heck with it, let's go back home through the back roads. All right, we'll go up, you can come back through through Allen's Fork and go across the 77, and then just come back through Derrick's Creek and come home. Well, we missed the left turn at Albuquerque. We didn't go left and kept on Allen's Fork. We went right and kept on the Frame Road, going up into Amma Road there, backside of Clendenin. This car kept jumping up on us. I mean, just jumping up on us. I was like, dude, just quit,
Right.
Well, he jumped up on me one last time, and I said, fuck it. Whack, I grabbed third gear, son, and I took off. And, that was the perfect gear for that truck, was third shifting into fourth on these West Virginia roads, dude. There wasn't nobody, no matter what they were driving, was going to keep up with that truck on a West Virginia road with those kind of tires I had on it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd lose him. He'd come back up. I'd lose him again. Well, by this time, and I think that's part of the reason that I've lost my left turn at Albuquerque and didn't go the right way. You know what I mean? I didn't go straight. So I didn't know exactly where I was. Well, I get to that wide spot in the road right there. We whipped the damn road. I whipped the truck off the road. I hit the emergency brake, throw it in neutral. I'm out of the truck before the truck stopped in that big wide gravel spot, just sliding.
I know where you're at. Yep.
Yeah. Both my buddies pile out the other side of it. I go about like this, and it looked like Cheech and Chong done burnt the damn house down inside the cab of that truck, all right? And it's coming out behind us. I go like this right here. About that time, I get a spotlight on me in the blue woo-woo. And he said, whoop, and he just kept right on going. And I was like, oh.
Whoa.
Thank you, baby Jesus Tom Cruise, because it was one of them green and gold ones. It wasn't no damn black and white one, you know what I mean? I could have been up there at up there at Central, just going.
That's crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
And the only reason I think that he didn't pull me over because of I spanked his butt, dude. I mean, he was in that Crown Vic at the time, you know what I mean? And that's whenever they just started with them Coyote motors, them the modular 5.3s and 4.6.
The 4.6?
Yeah, the 4.6s, then the 5.2 or 5.3, whatever.
That 4.6 wouldn't touch that Ranger I had.
Oh, but
nah.
he didn't have a choice. He wasn't touching mine either. Dude, I'm telling you, those things were the fastest little trucks.
But the four-wheel drive with the same motor in it didn't have power like that.
No, it didn't have none of that power. It was all because of the gearing of the transmission. You could run that damn 2.9 in the four-wheel drive at that high RPM, but you wasn't going anywhere because the damn gearing and the tires was slow. I mean,
I don't know.
It was, dude, because that motor, if you would
mine had a great big raised up intake on that GT.
Just like the hopped up 5.0 like in the Fox bodies there in the late 90s.
Yeah.
90s. You know what I mean? That big tunnel ran.
That was prime Ford right there.
Yep.
That's prime Ford zone.
Yep.
Into 80s into that mid 90s.
The 80s to right about 96.
Yep. That's prime Ford right there.
I'm picky if I work on them from 86 to 96, depending on what it is.
Yep.
If it's got too many bells and whistles and blues on it, I'm like, no. Give me an old shit.
Like Fox body from like 89 to like 93.
Yeah.
That's the prime right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the early model, I had an 81. I had that 4-cylinder car. Now I'll tell you what, I broke the pinion shaft where it holds the spider gears on in that Ford 9.
That would have been a 7.5 rear end in that one.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, because my 79 was a 4-cylinder 2.3 5-speed, and it had the 7.5 rear end in it. They didn't go to the 8.8 until later.
This was 81. It was the 82.
I don't think they went to the 8.8 till like 84 or 85.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, then I know that it came out the same way as the 8.8.
Yeah, the 7.5 is like
7.5.
the smaller, lighter duty version of the 8.8.
Is it? Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Because
Well, I
they
just
put
know
them in.
that's
They
the way
put them in the early Rangers too. The
Yeah.
2-wheel drive Ranger had
Yep.
set like a 7.5 rear end in it. If I remember right.
Matter of fact, that Ranger that we had, that you had, the GT, that's what it had.
I think so. I can't
I
remember.
I know that's what it had. I remember because I had to put
didn't have it long enough. It got totaled. I rolled it up going uphill.
Oh, dude, I was coming. You know where they put the new bridge at in between South Charleston, McCorkle Avenue, and Dunbar there?
Yeah.
164. Well, whenever they were doing the survey work for that, they had traffic stopped. I was in the fast lane right there. If you're coming westbound on 64, where you get off McCorkle, I was in between the off and on ramps, where I was sitting right there at that light pole, and a dude was on a phone on a ZR2 S10, locked it up, hit a Dodge minivan that hit me, knocked me into the center retaining wall, went up on my fender and hit another van and knocked the back glass out of it. All it did to this other van, all because that dude was on his cell phone and didn't see it.
Not paying attention.
Yep. They made me start my truck up. Now, whenever I said it had a frowny face before, it really did now, because it looked like a late model modified, no fenders on the front.
Right.
And I had to back it up to get it to where they could set that other vehicle back over on its top.
I bet you them Rangers are worth money now.
Oh, dude. You don't see very many of them. And that old boy that had the convertible one, dude, he did a very, very good job. I think Derek's actually did it. Or, shoot.
That's the one that had the little wing on the back, right? Yeah, I remember seeing it down that way.
Yeah.
So it's still down there?
No.
Oh, because that's a good bit back.
Yep. Remember whenever the Nissan Versa first come out?
Yeah.
Looked like his European type car.
Yep.
I bought one, and I bought a spoiler off of Scion TC.
I know what those are. Yep.
The little fat looking spoiler went on the back of the Scion TC. Whip fit on trunk lid version, not a hatchback version of the Versa.
Yeah.
I put it on there and had it color matched. Oh, dude, that son of a bitch looked good.
Those were good. They weren't bad looking cars. I like
them.
They
were ugly, dude. They were ugly as hell. So I had to make it redneck uglier. You know what I mean? I had to put.
I didn't think they were that bad. My buddy had one of those.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Oh, you're talking about the Versa.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Scion.
Oh no, the Scions are badass.
Yeah, he had a Hyundai Tiburon, and he had that. What was that Scion?
There was the XD, the XA, the.
This was the one that had the big motor in it.
TC was it the fast car?
Yeah,
the little two-door.
Two-door.
TC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's TC. It's the same thing.
Had the wing on the back.
Yeah. That's what I took the spoiler off of.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. I like those cars.
Yeah, those are great cars, but the Versa, it was a little short, stubby, European-esque looking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They were almost like the first generation crossovers, weren't they?
They looked like it, but they weren't, because they were front-wheel drive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were front-wheel drive.
Now, the XD, that's more of the category, the XD Scion, the box, the shoe box.
Yeah, I didn't care for them.
That's more what the Versa was in the class of right there, sort of.
Yeah, I didn't care for that bread box looking. Yeah. I don't like that Kia Soul either, though.
I'll tell you what, man. The girl kids of mine and my buddy's kids, every damn one of them loved them things.
The Kia Soul?
Whenever COVID hit, dude.
Ooh.
Dude, whenever COVID hit, you couldn't get home for them. And there were freaking Kia Souls sitting around here like you wouldn't believe, for sale for a little bit of nothing, because all of them had the same problems with them. You couldn't get brake shoes for them, couldn't get rotors for them. And
my buddy had one, and he went through 4 motors in that Kia Soul.
Yeah.
That it would just lose oil pressure.
Motor. It's the same motor that's in that in the other Kia cars that does so good. That's what I don't understand.
I don't know, man. He just drove it back and forth to work. He didn't hot rod it, but they would drop oil pressure and die.
Oh yeah. They're known for it. You know what I mean?
I don't. He had about 137,000 miles on that and 4 engines, and he got a hold of me and was like, "Do you want this thing?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want it. I don't want to put an engine in it."
Yeah, no, I don't want your problem.
Nah. I mean, he was like, dude, I can't keep it on the road. He said, I could have bought a car for it. I put an engine in this thing.
Yeah.
He had put 2 engines under warranty in.
Damn.
Yeah. It was a brand new car. It was the first generation Kia Soul. When it come out, his girlfriend's like, nope, we're buying one. And he's like, well, I need a work car. And he was driving it 50 miles one way, 50 miles back. So like 103 miles a day altogether. And he got a hold of me and he's like, come down here and look at this thing. Ain't got no oil pressure. So I went down and looked at it, pulled the dipsticks full of oil, started up, clack, 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 clack. I'm like, dude, shut it off. It's done.
It's yelling at you. Don't make it yell at you like that, man.
He down here in Parkersburg put 2 motors in that car. Same problem. On the way home, drop oil pressure, dead.
On the way home from a dealership, just having a motor put in, brand new motor put in.
Yep.
Damn.
Dropped oil pressure.
I
don't know what was wrong with it. I don't know.
Chevrolet.
Beautiful car. He had that top of the line Kia Soul. Had the
Oh,
what
wait
do
a minute.
Call it? Have the big moonroof and stuff.
Oh yeah. The Genesis.
No. That Soul had those dual.
Oh yeah.
Moonroof in it. It was the expensive one.
Yeah. That's the one the neighbor girls got right now.
Yeah, they were. I mean, it wasn't my type of car, but his looked good.
Yeah, but they don't stay running, and if you can't stop them, once you do get them running, it ain't a good thing. You couldn't get parts for them, dude. I'm telling you, right when COVID hit, there was three of them that I know was sitting for the same damn reason. All of them needed rear brake rotors and shoes and calipers.
Wow.
Because they always went out because nobody knows how to drive a car with a damn emergency brake. That's
crazy.
Or if they don't live around in outer
dude, they didn't grow up like us. You know what I mean?
You know, I mean, you use an emergency brake, you use it every time you stop a car.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you don't trust other mechanical devices from holding up all the time, especially clutch.
I drove a Honda Civic for 3 months, 140 miles a day with no brakes using the e-brake.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't have the money to buy parts to fix it.
I had a square body Chevy that I guess was one of those weird 80 model short beds that had come with a diesel.
Oh, that's rare.
Diesel, yeah, it had the hydraulic brakes on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finding parts for that.
Huh? Yeah.
Finding parts for that.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it was so heavy in the front end, and it just had a small block in it now. You know what I mean?
It was a sleeve down small block for diesel pistons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? But I was just using, it was just a regular small block, what I had in it, you know, but it didn't have that Chevrolet diesel motor, you know what I mean? But it had everything else in it. So it was still heavy in the front end. Dude, you come around the switchback curve, and if it was even wet whatsoever, I mean, that son of a bitch, I can drive a short bed or long bed or whatever. I can drive whatever, you know what I mean? Just state of West Virginia, just ain't never rode with me. They just don't understand. But because I did it better. Well, driving intoxicated.
Some people can.
Hey, I shouldn't have, but I could.
Right.
The times that I got caught, one of them, they were both my fault. But
right.
Yeah, I take blame for everything I've ever done. You know, but
yeah, a lot of people won't know.
It would come around. It would come around on you, and there wasn't no bringing it back. You know, about like a Chevette or an old Dodge Omni or Colt, you know,
Yep.
little Ford Festivas back in, you know, the little 2-cylinder or 3-cylinder motor or whatever. Yeah. Now,
when they were done, they were done.
Oh yeah, I got it. I mean, it's like, hey, wait a minute, we're going in circles. Lee.
Yeah, round and round.
Yeah,
Yep.
You can get a backhoe, but
I had a Ford Aspire, so I know what you're talking about.
Dude, I'm getting one. I'm building a buggy, and if I do, I'm putting it on the channel. All right, it's a death buggy. You may have, if you've seen anything, I don't know if I've mentioned it or not, but this thing is a half-scale sandrail.
What?
Yeah, it's not a Nerf cart. It's not a Honda Odyssey or nothing like that. It's not a 1-to-1 cart. This is a half-scale sandrail. It's a one-person sandrail. It's got sandrail miniaturized suspension on the front of it. Okay. It's got a cage that's big enough. It's I think from the nose to the back of the seat cage, which that's the only part that I have. I've got a little bit of the frame left toward the back, toward where a swing arm was, is what it looks like. But it's one person. It's not a go-kart. It's for one adult.
Is it a Honda Odyssey?
No.
Really?
Yes. I know what Odyssey is, and I know what the what was the other one? The same
Honda Pilot.
Pilot. It wasn't a Pilot either.
Yeah, the Pilot was their race model. Had a
yeah. Well, now it's more like a Pilot because it does have the on spindle fender braces.
Okay.
On it. Now, didn't the Pilot have those?
I think so. I never owned a Pilot. We had
it's at my buddy's house because Mom wouldn't let me have it here. She actually told me before I brought it here that it wasn't allowed to come here, and I'd forgotten that she had said that and brought it here. So I had to get it out real quick. So my buddy lives up the street. Matter of fact, it's my ex-wife's other ex-husband. That's the one I worked with down here.
I'll have to check that out. That'd be pretty neat.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm thinking about putting the Ford Aspire transaxle under it. Okay.
Yeah.
Taking it rear wheel drive, but I've just got to make two braces, one for each side to hold them tires.
That thing was all ass.
Oh, dude, little 1.3 on the back, this son of a bitch, and it don't weigh 350 pounds the way it sits right now.
Now you know that Ford Aspire motor is a Kia
pick it up like me and you could a 4-wheeler easily and move it.
Oh yeah, you know that's a Kia engine in an Aspire, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Those are Kia engines.
Are they?
Yes, they are. Kia built that for Ford.
Okay.
And shipped them over here.
Well, see, that's like Geo. Geo was Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Toyota.
Yep.
I mean,
Isuzu.
Yeah. Isuzu, all of them.
The Geo Storm was actually a Isuzu.
Okay, that was the same thing as the Toyota Prism, too.
Yeah. Well, I think the Toyota Prism was actually a Toyota Corolla close to it, wasn't it?
Well, the Toyota Prism was the predecessor to the Corolla.
I can't remember. I know there was
Prism was the 2-door. Prism was the 2-door, and the Corolla was the 4-door.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know they worked together somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. But I'll tell you what, man. We'll get back to on my list here. In general, new guy asking you for the best tip whenever they're getting into the hobby, no matter the scale, no matter the what, your best tip for somebody that's new that doesn't have, a whole lot of money, but has a little bit of ability in between the squishy stuff between their ears. You know what I
mean? Well, if you're like brand new, you went and bought something like an RTR.
Right.
My best thing was that, before you start just diving in, my best advice is to take it out and drive it.
Figure out what it needs.
Because once again, going back into these guys that buy something and jump in a lot of the Facebook groups, and these guys are ad brass this, ad brass there. That's not necessarily the same case for every single person. My best thing to do is you bought an RTR, take it out of the box, go over it, make sure everything's good to go. Take it out and drive it and enjoy it.
Right.
You'll find out quickly where the weakness is and what needs improved on that model. And with a little research, putting a little time, I would recommend, before I ever went to Facebook groups, and I don't mean to make people mad or anything like that,
Right.
I would recommend going to YouTube, typing in that model of RC, and watching some videos and learning from there, because you're soaking up that knowledge, and you're going to get usually you're going to get 100% better information from sitting and watching anybody on YouTube. Than going to their Facebook groups, because those guys are going to have you blowing hundreds of dollars for nothing.
Yep. And there's a lot of guys out there like you and me that we try to figure out ways for those of us that don't have a whole lot of money to spend on our hobby and want to do it ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching, it got on another channel. I can't watch that. Tony get mad at me. I was watching your tire video there. I had it on there. One with the WD-40. No, actually it was the darts, tuning the darts on them.
Yeah, dude. I just tried to do that, you know.
Hey, that thing works, dude. I've heard of a lot of people that have talked about doing that. I don't know if it was me watching older videos after or whatever, but I hadn't heard nobody doing it until I heard you doing it. And then I started seeing it come up. It might be the algorithm or something with people tuning them with darts and stuff.
The only one I seen do it was Valley Crawlers over in Australia.
Yeah.
I came up with the idea.
That dude right there got some good stuff. He's got some good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he does. He's like us. Being over there, he has to be, because it's outrageous.
Everything's way higher.
Yeah, I mean, everything. It's, you know, everybody over across the pond, you know, they actually don't have to pay as much as we do. And then you keep coming west and going toward Australia, and it's, you know, I mean, it's
Canada's real bad right now too, man.
Yeah.
Canadian guys are, it's crazy the price difference they're giving. My buddy told me this extra cab over there in Canada was going to cost him like $900 or something, $930.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah. He was looking at getting that extra cab from RC 4-wheel drive.
Now, what's it run for us down here?
I got this one when they had the sale. I think I gave $469 for this.
Right.
Regular price I think is probably like $589.
That sounds about right, because I had a customer whenever I was selling cars that lived in Canada, and he came down here. He was just on vacation, had to be stopped by through, and they needed some work done on their Toyota, so they had it in our service department, because, you know, back whenever the computer things was on there and you could find the, you know, started with the Google and all this, you know, the tracking and all that. They were sitting there just checking them out, so I upped them. You know, I was first month selling cars. You know, I was upping every person I could. You know, more people I talked to, the more experience I got. And
that's exactly how it should be. Yeah.
They was telling me that, you know, just say a 7152 Toyota Tacoma, which was a 4-wheel drive, extended cab, 4-cylinder Toyota Tacoma. Okay. Base model truck, pretty much. But it was a 4-wheel drive, 4-cylinder extended cab. You did have power windows, radio, something like that, 2001. And that truck went for about $12,300 to $14,200, somewhere around in there, depending on the options on it. Up there in Canada, they were paying $2,200, but He didn't pay a damn thing for health care.
No.
Anything. You don't pay a damn thing for health care. Yeah, your taxes are a little bit higher, or they're taxed higher. Their money. I mean, their stuff's a little bit higher, but they don't have to worry about health care. Was one good thing he said. And
the trade-off might be worth it, but I don't know, man. I mean, now
that's an awful lot of a percentage point to be paying.
I mean, I don't know because I've never.
But you see what I'm saying? That's a big difference. I understand healthcare and using healthcare over your whole lifetime compared to paying that amount of taxes, but that's a big percentage hike, dude. I mean, that's almost that's
500 to 1,000.
Yeah.
$500 difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A $14,000 truck going for 22. It's it's a big difference right there.
That's a big difference. But I don't know what the pay scale is there either for jobs. I don't know.
They say runs median of what a man makes in the United States. So
then that's not worth it, I wouldn't think then.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. You know what I mean? It's
if this cost me $1,000,
here's the thing.
I wouldn't have it.
Their government up there is getting ready to get them a lot of killing done up there too, just like what we're getting into.
The entire world's a mess right now.
Yeah, but they're taking away their liberties again up there in Canada, man. They're
I know. I got 2 friends live up there.
Yeah.
Now one friend loves it. The other one don't love it so much.
Well, and it depends on where you're at. Is which. Well,
they're in the same area. They're in the same area. They don't live far from. One of them loves it. The other one is like.
Well, you got some people love the United States. Some people don't.
Then I tell them leave.
See ya.
I mean,
do you need help?
There's problems no matter.
Yeah.
No matter where.
Politics can be politics, And I'm friends with a bunch of far left people. Well, not as many anymore, but I still got hang on.
I don't have a problem with them.
I don't
have a problem with any of that stuff. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel.
But don't just don't go so far to stick a party line to where you don't have any common sense.
Yes.
That goes both ways. That goes both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up. That's the best way to put it. You know what I mean?
The only thing that bothers me is the people that are out there always look to the people that are in my lane like we're idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
This thing is pretty close.
Yeah.
They do.
You're right. And I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry. When you're making content, this is a good question for you. I like this one. What's your biggest content creating tip whenever you're shooting videos, somebody learning how to do it, such as me? And you can use anything you want to of mine that you remember seeing that I needed to work on as a
my thing is, if you're just starting out, if you're doing, let's say I don't know, I call it out in the field. Like if you're doing trail scaling videos.
Right. Okay.
My biggest thing is, my biggest recommendation, 100% right off the bat, a cheap gimbal is going to help you tremendously.
Right. Not
whether
just
it
selfie
be
stick.
For an action camera. Because you can buy cheap gimbals now. I got mine. I got $35 in mine.
Yeah, I think we was talking about that. I remember that.
I mean, if you're going out and you're doing actual, doing trail videos, that would be, and a cheap editing program and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I love CapCut. They're
Keep listening.
I think CapCut cost me like $9 a month for their pro editor.
See, I'm using the free CapCut is
Yeah.
what I use, and I'm getting pretty good with it. Well,
I noticed
you've
your
already
stuff
seen.
Yeah,
You've already seen some of what I've done with start at the beginning of the show, don't you remember? Wink, wink.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't get it. I don't have a computer.
Right.
Like a lot of people, like whenever, you know what I mean? I do everything. I have my phone. It's an out-of-date phone. It's a Galaxy Note 9. It won't even make phone calls anymore.
I'm using the iPhone 10. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I just
plus max whatever, but it's what it is.
Now I can tell you, in my opinion, the way YouTube's set up, I don't think it's worth shooting in 4K.
Right.
Because I shoot in 4K because my phone will do 4K.
Right.
And they'll only let me upload up to like 440.
Yeah.
And you can't tell the difference hardly between 1080 and 1440.
So you start getting into slow-mo and stuff like that until
if
the
you
edited
go
part.
into slow-mo, bump yourself up, in my opinion, and turn your ISO up or whatever it's called on your phone, because it'll reduce your blur.
Okay.
That's with the Samsung Galaxy. I don't know about iPhone.
All right. Now, what are you running on the Galaxy? The 22, the 23?
No, hell no, man. This is an out-of-date Galaxy Note 9.
Okay, so you're running. So you're running Galaxy 9. Okay, it's not too old actually.
It's pretty old. I think it's 5-6 years old now.
It's actually a little bit older than that. Yeah, because
it's pretty old,
I had the 7 that had the. Would you lay down?
There's not even any updates for this phone anymore.
No, they don't. But that's a good phone though, because I had the 7 Edge. Whenever the Edge come out and you could read the side of the phone, that's whenever I first got my first Galaxy, and that's what I had. And then I got the 9. Then I had to be cool. About 2 years ago, everybody was getting new phones. My son and them was getting the newest iPhone. I think it was a 14 at the time or something. And I wanted one of those flip phones. I got the Z Flip 4.
Yeah, I know what they are.
That was running the Galaxy. It's the same thing as the Galaxy S23. The same exact phone, except a little bit bigger because it folds. Yeah, that's the only difference. Same running system and everything. Loved it. Loved the way it worked. But I had to put 2 screens on it in under a year.
Yep.
And I didn't get.
My buddies is the same way.
And it wasn't because anything in my pocket had done anything. I don't know what had happened to it, but I had two screens.
It's that folding with the wiring.
No, it wasn't that part. It was the actual part on the screen. It was
really.
We get a black spot. Unless it was, I don't know.
He had the same trouble. He sent the phone back.
Yep. Well, I wasn't the one that was running the plan, because I'm on my mom's plan. Because she's responsible and pays bills, and I make sure my phone's paid. But she didn't listen to me and put the protection plan on it. And we waited. It was within 60 days whenever my phone broke, but I didn't have it until after the 60 days. So it didn't work.
Dang.
$385 out-of-pocket dollars to fix that phone the first time. The second time the screen went out, I took it to Walmart and put it in the damn machine, got $70 out of it.
Damn. No.
Yeah, dude. $800 and some dollar phone. Oh. Hey, let me me hold on here. Whiny ass shop dog. I guess he's gotta go chase a squirrel or something. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna put that on pause.
Yeah, we're good.
So off camera, we was talking about my dumb dog there, and there's video of him chasing light monsters, me moving the door there on my channel, and here's the deal with that. All right. Right as COVID hit, They wasn't wanting you to buy guns.
No.
And they give rednecks a whole bunch of money to go buy guns.
Yep.
But okay, enough about that. So I went and bought a Taurus G2C, and it's got that little piece of Picatinny rail on the bottom front of the frame there. So it's just perfectly made for, a laser. Well, I hadn't had it on the pistol, very long, and I was like, man, I started looking at this BB gun, pellet gun that I had. And it was a Ruger remake pellet gun of some sort. That's all you get. What? Am I talking about you? Look, I'm talking about him. Say hi.
Hey, buddy.
Say what's going on, man? What's happening? You see him? You hear him? Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, that's Dungeon. Yeah, that's a crazy fucker. It's got them cool trucks, man. Yeah, you get to watch him all the time, don't you? Yeah. No, go over and lay down. No, you're not laying at my feet. No, you're not a lap dog either. All right, as long as you ain't got that elbow on my toes. God, dog, son. He lays down. He makes sure that elbow, his leg where he's part cane corso, he's got different made joints than a lot of other dogs. His wrist is back here. His elbow is farther back on his I guess it's his shin. You know what I mean?
Right.
It comes to a point, dude, and I'm telling you what, this son of a bitch ain't no lap dog. He's about 75 pounds. And it hurts. You know what I mean? That bone coming down on your big toe joint right there at the knuckle. Oh, yeah. Man, just how to dig it in, just like the old lady does get you to roll over because you're snoring. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Same thing. Yep. Exactly what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, man, this dude, he understands, and he knows I'm talking about him still. He's still right here. I'm telling you. That's a good boy, though. He's one of the best dogs I've had.
He's a good-looking pup.
Oh, he is, man. And what I was told was I got him from over in Elizabeth. No, not Elizabeth, but shoot. There it goes where my foot go. Now, take your black ass and go somewhere. Go. I'm gonna call your brother. You don't want to hear that shit. He said, don't call Bubby. Bubby yells at him, he lays down, he goes over and lays hell down. My son Hunter. But all right, get back to what I did. I don't want that out here. I don't want no breaking Biden bullshit. But so I didn't have any air for that air pistol, you know what I mean? So
right,
having fun. And I put it on the front of that air pistol. Well, come to find out, I ended up getting some air for it. But after putting it on that air pistol, I was playing with him because he was a puppy. He was probably 15, 20 pounds. So he was 4 months old, 5 months old, something like that. And I started playing with him. He was like a cat with it. Well, I ran him into the wall with it once. And it was funny because, it was hardwood floors. And he's Scooby-Doo. And I figured after that one, he was smart enough not to do it again. Well, he fell for it 2 more times.
Oh,
I think I gave him Dane Bramage. Because he hates light monsters or shadow monsters, dude. He tries to get them. So it's a good way to exercise the dog. You know what I mean? I'm moving all these muscles and everything. So about once a week or so, he catches the light monsters for me. He keeps them away. He's a pretty good light monster dog. Mom says, you're being mean to him. I said, why? He loves doing it.
Yeah, he's having fun.
Man, dude, this dog, he can clear 6-foot fence without touching it. Yeah.
Wow.
My aunt lived on the side of us out there whenever I lived out towards Sissonville and Rocky Fork, in between where I live and Sissonville. And my aunt lived over there, and she had my cousin's dog, and they didn't get along. He was a male husky, and he's a male German Shepherd and Mastiff and Lab mix. His mom was full-blooded Lab, and his dad was Mastiff and Shepherd, what I was told. They didn't tell me he was Corso and Shepherd. Thank God, because I love him to death. It makes a better dog. You know, they're way more protective, way more intelligent than a Mastiff, you know, and their instincts.
Them Mastiffs get huge.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had one prior to this. We won't talk about that. Me and you'll talk about that later. But I had a beautiful Mastiff. He's a great dog. You know what I mean? Where he's got that good three mix in him, supposedly. It's a great mix. I've been around Shepherds all my life, you know, and Labs are great dogs. And then the Cane Corso, you know, them being the Cane Corso instead of being the Mastiff, they are a Mastiff breed, but they're on another end of the chain than most Mastiffs. You know what I mean? They're all great dogs. But these are a little bit harder to train. They're more stubborn. Oh, yeah, they're stubborn. You know what I mean? And you know, you whack one of them to get them to quit, and they just look at you. You're like, okay, come on, let's play. Like, screw you. But, you know, I mean, it makes them do, they're vindictive. Oh, yeah, they're like your ex-girlfriend, dude. I mean, they'll pee on your stuff and everything. You know what I mean? Dude, no, he will.
A cat mentality.
Oh, my God, dude, I'm telling you, sort of. You know what I mean? They're vindictive. He's an asshole. He'll be out there in the yard, and I'll be like, hurry up, come on, it's raining or something. He just wants to go out there and just, I call him spritzing. He goes out, pisses over everything all over the yard. It's something that him and Mom's dog passed away earlier this year. Man. They were both boys, you know, but I hurry him up, and he'll just look at me, and he'll go walk over to my shit. Like there's a wagon and I'm going to turn into an RC car. Yeah. You know, it's a little red wagon, you know, little radio wagon. Dude, at the bottom of it, I've already had to replace, put tin in it. You know, I did it like we would back in the early 70s or in the early 80s and 90s, you know.
Yep.
Tin up the floorboard on it, you know, throw some rubber across it. You know, I mean, it's already going to be hot rodded up anyway because it wasn't anything I could have brought back to, you know, stock. You know, I couldn't store it, so I was going to have to resto mod it. So might as well make it a freaking remote control car, right?
Oh, it'd be pretty cool.
Get one of the power wheels that they've got now that are remote control.
Yep.
Get one of those systems.
Yep, which are pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, dude, and you can find one that's just got a bad battery, or it's just got a bad circuit board or whatever, and get it for $50.
Yep.
Put $25-$30 into whatever and fix it. Yep. And then you've already got your remote set up right there.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to do nothing.
No.
That's like we was talking earlier about using them drone cameras for FPV. You know. See, that's the thing that I'm wanting these new guys to understand is that, you know, use your brain. And if you think you've got the skills to do this, try it. You know, don't go out and buy new parts and try it with it. Try it with stuff you've already got if you've already been trying stuff. You know,
the problem is, man, you got so many of the bigger channels and stuff that promote buy me, buy this, buy that.
Yeah. You don't have to buy that stuff to be in the hobby. Look, this car right here. I got this time last year, box stock AX24. All right. I bought, knowing going into it, because I've been watching channels, like some of them that'll be interviewed here pretty soon. Like 2FMRC, Matt over there. He's just right over in Kentucky. He's closer to me.
I do know that one. Yeah, I do know it. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, he's just actually probably closer to me than you are, to tell you the truth, and he's in Kentucky.
Oh, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where, but
I'm about almost probably 2 hours and 40. Well, yeah, 2.5 from you. Probably. It depends, man. I mean, I can
right.
It depends on how fast you want to make a trip, but
you're up 79, right? Or 77.
I'm up 79.
Yeah, up 79.
Drop down off Big Otter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, now that's where my family's actually from, right there at Flatwoods and Sutton area.
Oh, that's way up above me.
Yeah.
I'm actually way closer than that.
Oh, then you ain't really too far away.
It took, I don't know if you know Jeremy Boggs or not, but he's from St. Albans. It took him 2 hours to get here today.
Man, I wish I'd have known he was coming your way. I'd have hitched a ride with him.
Yeah, he came down and we did the filming. Brad filmed for at Stevens 304 RC. He did the filming.
Right. Yeah,
I wanted to break from filming today, so he filmed the stuff. But
I saw
Jeremy
that.
came down.
I saw that Jeremy was there. I didn't know that he was from St. Albans, man. Shoot. I need to catch up with him and holler at him either that or
Bub, didn't he say St. Albans?
I'm pretty sure it Boggs, yeah. I know a lot of Boggs, especially from St. Albans.
Yeah, he's in our 304 group. He's the other scale guy.
Yeah, see, I've seen him post and said something about having a good time up there. I'll have to holler at him, man, and catch a ride with him, you know.
Yeah, because I had a spare truck somebody could have drove because
oh, dude, only
two of the guys here didn't go.
Only thing that thing right there would need is just for me to throw just that bracket on it. That's all it needs to mount the cab. I just haven't done it because I haven't totally decided if that's the way I'm going to mount it or not. Because if I can't get it to open up far enough to get to that battery, which I'm moving that battery down onto the front bumper a little bit, or the front bumper mount, I should say, frame mount.
Yeah.
On the very front. So that my battery will be low anyway. It'll actually be lower than the bumper.
Yeah, that'll be good low weight then, yeah.
You know, and I'll be running, what I'm running is going to be a 2S 2200 milliamp 2S battery. Or no, 3S battery. I'm sorry. 3S battery.
That's plenty of battery for sure.
Yeah, and then I've got a 2200 2S battery that I am running in it right now. But where I was going to get that WPL C truck, I decided to get batteries and another transmitter for the remote that I got. I got a Radio Link RCG6.
Yeah, those are good radios. Yeah.
And I got a transmitter that came with it, and I got another one. And then I got two 450 milliamp 2-cell batteries for this thing.
That'd probably be about the right size you need for that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this 750 milliamp, it's giving it too much.
What's in them stock?
350.
Okay, because it don't last that long.
No, it doesn't. This one, I usually get about 25-30 minutes out of a charge on this one. And
I got a little bit of room. I could go big.
Oh yeah.
I got about that much space between the seat and the battery.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you could go up to a 750 milliamp if you wanted to, like this.
That's what it needs to run.
This battery is the same size as that stock one, except two stacked up.
Well, that FIIIINNNAAALLY should be easier on battery than a stock system, shouldn't it?
What is it?
If I put a brushless FIIIINNNAAALLY in there, it should be, because that's a stock system, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. The stock system that you've got in it, dude, I'll tell you what, if you're going to put a FIIIINNNAAALLY in, I mean, that's going to make it badass. It's going to do exactly what you want to do right now. You know what I mean?
That's what I was looking at getting for.
Slow crawl, dude. I'm not even sure what it's called. I've just heard it called something there. It's whenever it doesn't have there's no slowdown in the motor torque.
FOC.
Yeah, dude. I mean, those FIIIINNNAAALLY especially now, Mofo. There's a Mofo BAM motor. There's a couple other ones that are worth looking into too. But the problem is, as of me looking on the site yesterday, the Rockwolf ESC that you need to run one of the brushless or run anything heavily modified in a 24 scale, ESC is out of stock still. Rockwolf ESC, I'm telling you what, is one of the best ESCs around, but FIIIINNNAAALLY does have a good system. The only reason that I'm saying anything about Mofo is because they're a young, smaller company, but the thing is you can't get everything that you need right now to run it. So
well, I was just looking at FIIIINNNAAALLY.
I would go FIIIINNNAAALLY way before I would Endura.
See, I didn't investigate Endura much.
But don't. Endura's okay. Don't get me wrong. They got some good motors. They've got some good ESCs. But if you're going to heavily modify SCX24 or a TRX4M or a Sant 18,
right,
you don't want to go with Endura Electronics. Their motors are good, and will run good. But their MB100 ESC, it's only a 20 amp ESC. And if you try to go up in a motor size, like it's the motor that's in that truck right there in your four-wheeler.
Yeah,
turn 030 series 66 turn motor with the 2-in-1 ESC combo. It's a 10 amp combo.
Now, see, I'd like that too. Save room.
Right. Yes, you will. And what you're going to do when you go brushless, you're going from a 10 amp ESC to a 40 amp ESC that can run 3S all day long and not get anything hot. You can take and stay brushed and go up to a 50 turn 50 series motor can, which is just a double length can, is what the size difference is.
It'll fit because of my side piece.
It'll fit.
Well, my side piece is here. I'm afraid it'll get into the foot peg mount on the quad body.
It might actually, because
it's almost touching it now.
Right. See here where I'm at?
Yeah.
See how long? See the difference in the length? Now it's the same size pretty much around, but it's just a little bit longer.
It might clear it. I was just looking at the FIIIINNNAAALLY because
is that the body that you're trying to clear? Is the foot peg on the body? Okay, never mind. It's not. You're not trying to clear for the frame. You're trying to.
No, it's the foot peg actually comes in and turns in by the frame.
Okay, I got you.
It like locks it down.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Then what you're talking about doing, putting the FIIIINNNAAALLY in it, will be badass because it'll fit. It'll make it fit a lot better. Now,
and they got the Bluetooth, right? It's a Bluetooth system.
Yeah. Now, once they get the Rockwolf ESC back, I believe that they're coming out with one that's a Bluetooth too. If it's not already, I don't know because I'm a brush guy still. You know what I mean? The only brushless ones is Turtleator and Speed Buggy, and that's it.
I like brush stuff too. I mean,
well, it's just
my Profile 3's been brushed for 3 years.
I like what a brushless can give you, but I don't like some of the prices that you have to get into to get good brushless systems. Now,
especially in the competition, like the Outrunners and stuff.
Yep, the FIIIINNNAAALLY, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Mofo are great. They're not as high in the price, and they got real good customer service. They're a small company. They're not a huge manufacturer, nothing like
I just bought a FIIIINNNAAALLY for the Sherpa truck, and that thing set me back. Even on Black Friday sale, was like, oh my gosh, $125.
That's not bad.
No, but regular price is like $200.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's not bad. And
it's
that's for your
Komodo 10. It's the 10th scale.
Yeah,
they're outrun.
Right.
Because that cheap one I bought, no matter what I do with it, it just gets hot.
Speaking about that, how bad was the white blister on the end of your finger after that video?
It wasn't too bad. I got lucky.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, because I watched you react. I knew that some bitch was hot. I seen that. I said, oh, I said, I started typing. I got on the phone. I said, oh, it had to hurt.
That right there is dangerous, man. That right there is a fire hazard.
Because see, in these, they run cool. That's the thing about having a damn brushless one, is because you can do that slow crawl.
Yeah.
It still stays cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It gets warm to where you don't want to touch it.
But not 170, 180 degrees.
Dude, it was way hotter than that whenever you touched it that first time.
It's probably 210,
Oh,
250.
dude, I'm telling you, it was hot.
The soldering was starting to look funny.
Yeah. Yeah, starting to shiny up.
But you know what the weird thing is? That thing's that hot, right?
Yeah.
The minute you juice the throttle of that thing, the temp drops like that.
Well,
you can put your finger on it. It's scalding, burning hot.
And you can
just
feel it
use
pull
the
down.
throttle for not even just like that much throttle. It drops 60 degrees like snapping your finger.
Is it because it doesn't have as many magnets in it as it should, or is it because it has too many magnets in it, you think?
I don't know. I've had guys commenting on that video saying that I needed to turn the timing down on the motor. I've turned the timing down on the motor. It's geared. This truck is geared to the lowest it'll go. You can't go no lower. There's no more adjustment left. And the best I can get is about 30 seconds of super slow crawl. And I mean, it still gets 160, 170 degrees.
Huh.
Them guys told me put a different motor on it. I said, but what's the use? The whole reason to buy a budget system for $50 is just go spend the money and buy a good system.
Right.
Why spend another $50 on another brushless outrun for a motor?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean,
yeah, I'm with you.
And
that's the thing, man. There's a lot of people that they don't want to give that kind of advice, but why?
I don't know.
You know why? It's because of everybody gets a trophy crap. And it's our generation. It's our generation that done it.
Yeah.
It is, and that's what's shitty.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, because we didn't have no everybody gets a trophy bullshit.
Nope.
Our kids did though.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just not going to do that. And instead of putting another $50 in a $50 or $60 system, I just went ahead and bought that FIIIINNNAAALLY system.
That's a smart thing, dude, because that some bitch is just too hot. I don't understand why.
I've tried everything. I've tried everything with it. And then guys commenting on there, it's because of your settings. I have went through the settings on that system 20 times. No matter what you do, it gets hot.
Yeah. Maybe there was you got a bad one. You know what I mean? I've had that happen.
And they would not replace it.
They wouldn't.
Nope. I contacted them, sent them the video, sent them the pictures. They refused.
Really?
I would not recommend doing business with that NEWBIE company on their motors and stuff. No.
Right. See, that's one thing I will say about Mofo. I don't know if you've seen the video of this thing freaking out whenever I had the motor in it.
I did see that, yeah.
I put the Torque Beast 30X in it, okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's got the MB100 by Endura ESC in it.
Yeah.
But it also has 2 Ramp Crab 6 kg servos in it that draw, 7.4. They'll draw 7.4.
Yeah.
You know, and that's 2 of them. Plus the Torque Beast 30X, which is 30,000 RPM. Highest torque, 50 series Mofo motor, you know what I mean? Especially made for the high torque. Yep. And it was drawing so much power through that MB100 that the MB100 was freaking it out. And that's why every time I give it the gas, front wheels would do this.
Yep.
It wouldn't draw. I mean, that's 20 amps. I need something that's something about 40 amps.
I was going to say 40, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Matt from 2FMRC. I texted him. I said, "What's your suggestion?" You know, and I texted a couple other guys, and I've got their response. Haven't read all of them yet, so before this video comes out, I will have. So, but yeah, and man, I'll tell you what, that's the reason I'm doing this for this channel, is to get information like, you know, from guys like you. It's been doing this stuff, you know, since forever, you know, because
been doing it a while.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to me anyway, it's forever. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it has. A lot of people quit in between. I never really did. I mean,
that's whenever I started watching your channel and stuff, and then especially once I knew that we was going to do this, I started going back and watching more. You know what I mean? Stuff that I hadn't seen, like some of the older stuff. And you've been doing the cool stuff that I've wanted to do, you know, like the FPV views of the trailing and stuff, you know, the scale stuff. That's awesome. That's why I started watching your channels, because of that stuff. You know what I mean? And it sort of got me where
stuff never was very popular. It's weird.
Well,
I never got very many views.
I don't see why either, because I love it, because, you know, I like that tobacco, you know, stuff. And I like and watching YouTube, you know, and get them get them hippie calories, as old Stoner Gump says. You know what I mean? Did I send you that one of him?
Yeah.
Dude, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? I love it. He's funny as heck. And then Scabby Scab, did you see the one he tagged me in? If that's my brother, it's Randy Ayers from down there in Virginia.
Yeah.
I sent Randy. I told Randy about it. Randy started laughing, and I tagged Kevin in it. Oh man,
are some of those guys in our 304 RC group?
Scabby Scab is James RC Garage, James Conant, and Kevin Hardy.
I knew James Conant was in it. Yeah,
Kevin Hardy.
I sent him an invite to it.
Yeah, Kevin Hardy is one of them that's in there too. He's sliding sideways RC. Okay. And
I'll have to make some tags.
Tony Morrow, he's South Carolina redneck.
I talked to him. Yeah.
And then you've got Matt Wolf. He's Sinister Customs 24.
I don't know that one.
Check that one out, dude. He's got a video of a 24 scale pulling his big ass on a skateboard.
No, I seen that video.
All right, that's 24.
I've seen that video.
That's Matt Wolf. He's I don't know if he's in the 304 group or not, but check him out on Facebook.
I'll have to go through our guys that have YouTube channels.
Sinister Customs X 24 on YouTube.
I'll check them out.
Yeah.
See, I need to go through and figure out who has YouTube channels and do a big posting on them.
This dude builds some wicked shit out of all stuff, dude. And I mean, dude, hey,
I'll check it out.
You got a 24 scale pulling him.
That's crazy.
All right. He gets one to pull a truck.
Wow. That's crazy. Man.
I think, yeah. And then the person that we was talking about earlier that does the animatronics.
Yeah.
Something. Oh, dang it. I'll fix it before I air this.
I think I know who you're talking about, because I think I've watched some of this stuff.
They have SCX6 or something that pulls a big truck, like a 1-ton truck. It's on flat ground, but it pulls it. And I mean, pulls it well.
Now, I think that one guy, I can't remember his name, Kevin something. I follow him on Facebook. He's got an SCX6 pulling his F-150.
Okay.
But I can't remember his name. I think it's like Kevin, but that's not the name of his Facebook channel. I used to talk to him on and off. Because I was going to buy some Wraith parts off of him. Some 1-9 Wraith parts.
From Derby City RC.
I don't know that one.
He's down in Louisville. Yeah, he's the one that does the bashing and stuff, and reviews on a lot of bashers and crawlers, and he's goofy, man. He's got I'll send you his link.
Yeah, send me the link because I don't know if I've watched that one or not.
He's going to be on here too, man, and you got to watch.
I'm going to watch him. I'm going to watch him.
Dude. Yeah.
I like the podcast style stuff.
All right, so here was a question. My question that said, my question. You'll help me co-host that sometimes, or?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Because see, that'd be good for what I'm wanting to do with the channel and for the podcast is being able to have two people, somebody that's been doing it for a while and my new ass, asking questions about stuff to these people that are YouTube creators such as ourselves.
Right.
How to do stuff like we're doing tonight. You know what I mean? And just sit down and have a good time and be able to ask. And I think it'd be good for a lot of the people that are like me trying to learn.
Right.
Able to reach out to people like you, like I said, Evan at Derby City, Joe XO Cage, Matt Wolf. Got a few others. I ain't going to name them all yet.
You hit me up whenever you, and then like I said, I work late. I work late evenings, so I go in late, so I can whenever we can work out. If you want help doing some of the co-host stuff, I can.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll get it worked out. You know what I mean? I want to try to do one about every week. If you can't make it every week, it's okay.
I'd say I probably could, honestly, especially in the wintertime.
Right. And like right now, whenever we're doing it, it would be a good time for a lot of people.
Well, then you can send me links too, and I can broadcast that on my channel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we both can put it out there, advertisement. You know what I'm saying? More people will.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was going to do whenever I release this. Is you'll have a link to it. It'll be shared. And that's a little plug I want to do. It's thanks to StreamYard that we're able to do it.
I like this. This works a lot better than the YouTube one.
Oh, dude, way better.
Yeah.
Not saying anything for the platform, but
no.
Giving a shout out to StreamYard, because I'm using their free stuff.
Yeah, this is working smoothly.
Oh yeah, and dude, the lives that I get on over with either Tony Marr, South Carolina Redneck, or Skevy Skev Sliding Sideways, or James RC Garage on their lives, or Jason's RC Garage, the Beard. He's a good one.
I know that one.
Yeah. The Beard. He's back on. He did his first show back in a while last night. Released it. It was pretty cool with him and Skevy Skev going crawling at their local course over there. And
I don't ever get a notification from Tony's stuff, and I don't know why, because I'm subscribed to his channel and everything.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's something with algo rhythm and slide. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I also can't comment on some people's videos.
Or you'll comment on it and it disappears.
Yep. It happened to me 3 times.
Where
in the world is comment San Diego, right? That's what
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Stay Smalls. I don't know if you watch him or not.
I have some. I think
I can't comment on nothing.
Really?
Yep. I don't know. He's been trying to fix it for weeks.
I've been unsubscribed to people's channels before.
Me too.
People that was unsubscribed to me in one day. He was talking about this. Matter of fact, I think I was the one that turned you on to it.
Yep.
And the thing was, I learned it off of.
Why did they do that? I don't understand.
It's censorship. All right. Langley Outdoors has had it happen. And Heavy Duty Country has had it happen. Brandon Herrera's had it happen. Brandon Herrera for head of the ATF, by the way. Go Brandon!
Wow.
Yeah. Brandon. Hey, Brandon almost won that big Senate race down there in Texas this year, dude. He just barely lost, and he's a gun tuber. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But he's smart.
Yeah.
And there's serious. I mean, they're seriously considering him for the director of the ATF.
Wow.
Yeah. Trump's been talking about it. I hope he does it. You know what I mean?
I think they'd be censoring little crappy channels, though.
Huh?
You wouldn't think they'd be censoring like small RC channels.
I don't know. I mean, about the algorithm.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's something about telling the truth. I think. I mean, I seriously think that's what it is. And you've already, spoken on what you thought about Traxxas and stuff, and how I
like them. I love my TRX.
I like them too, but I've heard
that
a lot.
Was just wrong, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
I don't.
Totally do, and that's the thing. I support what I support because what I support is what I've bought,
yes,
and learned on, or have obtained and learned on. And I'll tell you what's junk on it. That's like Speed Buggy sitting right here. The one sitting up by the TV. Damn it! Roll my arm. There we go. Right there. That's a WL Toys 124017. It's the brushed.
They make decent stuff though.
Yeah, but those have that damn hex or non-hex hardware. The Phillips head hardware.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Dude, no matter if you put Loctite on it or whatever, it still wants to come off. Yeah. That's the reason Speed Buggy's still sitting there. Speed Buggy's. I figured it out that time. Speed Buggy's still sitting there is because the two shock plate brace bolts right here on the back axle on the front.
Yeah.
Decided to leave the chat, and it's got the whole ass just a wiggling, and I ain't took everything apart to take that differential out to put those two screws back in it.
Yeah, but you know what? You wouldn't think Traxxas would have even have been watching a little channel like mine.
Dude, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, probably.
You're not that little channel. I'm a little channel, dude. I made 141 today, I think I made it to 141 subscribers. But
my thing is I don't consider
a lot of views on my shorts.
I just don't consider channels to be big. I mean, 10,000.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. To me, I'm a small channel. I mean, others may look at it differently, I guess, but
you're what I'm hoping to be one day. You know what I mean? Be able to make it to have at least 2,000 subscribers. That'd be cool for me. Just be able to know that people at least like the bullshit I'm putting out there anyway.
Yeah, but if you really look though, man, a lot of it's weird because that's what is weird about YouTube. I have 23, 16, I don't know, something. And the views never line up with your subscribers on anything, hardly. It's weird to me.
I think that's where
stuff you can't tell me out of 2,300 people that sometimes only 60 people watch it. I don't buy that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's where the stuff starts.
And then some stuff I'll look and see, and I'll have 20,000 views, and I'm like, 20,000 views? Well, why didn't you hit the subscribe button?
Yeah.
I don't get that, man, with people on YouTube. I'm like, come on, brother, if you're watching an entire video, because I'll get the analytics on it, 20,000 people almost watch that entire. Hit the subscribe button, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Even if you don't watch the channel, it still pushes you in the algorithm.
Yeah, it helps. You know,
I don't understand people, man.
hit like, hit dislike.
Yeah, hit
Tell us
dislike
why
helps.
you didn't like it.
Dislike helps. Comment why. Exactly.
Yeah,
Comment why
tell
you
us.
didn't.
You know,
They don't care. It still pushes you in the algorithm further.
yeah, it helps.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, at least be cool enough if you're sitting there watching it and you got.
First off, if you didn't like it, you didn't watch a half-hour long video.
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand the whole logistics.
I don't either. I'm learning.
I'm trying.
Yeah. See, why do you think I've called you?
I didn't think anybody would consider my channel to be. I consider it mediocre, but
hey, dude, no, man, the stuff that you've been talking. Oh, hey, have you tried the brake fluid yet?
no, I need to do that.
Right. I think I'm going to
I
do it
got
here.
the brake fluid down here sitting. I just haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, right. I've got it sitting on the back porch. I think I might do it here in a little bit.
I have it in a little drip bottle up here. When you told me about that, I put the brake fluid in a little drip bottle I've got.
Okay.
I was going to put it on the brush and try it on some tires I've got.
Well, these tires right here, look, I think they'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect for it because you can see how bad they are.
They're definitely used, that's for sure, but they're
Oh,
not
they're
terrible.
used. The thing is, whenever I got them, they
don't
weren't
look bad.
These haven't lost a whole lot of grip, really. I mean, they were a real close knit tire.
I see. And them Trepadors?
Got some good cuts.
Are them Trepadors?
No, they're Endura all-terrain.
Oh, Enduras. Okay.
Yeah, it's the small scale. Remember, it's the 1.0s. But
did you bring your shovel down here?
no, I did. What we?
I was talking to my son.
I was gonna say I already got a hole dug. What we need? I already got a hole dug.
Well, man, I've got a data warning on my phone, so.
All right, man. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a shout. Maybe if there's anything else that I was going to ask you, and
okay,
we'll we'll get together. I'm going to try to put it out by Thursday. We'll get together.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Take your time, no hurry.
I'll put your logo, the one that I originally released, the first commercial I released. I'm gonna put that in there, and then I'm gonna get some clips probably off your channel.
Yeah, brother, that's fine. Yeah,
throw it in there and stuff, and I'm gonna release the whole thing. The whole recordings.
Okay.
I'll send you and show you what I'm releasing on it. I mean,
okay.
You can help edit it out too, whatever you want. So
hey, I don't think we've said anything too.
No, I don't either. I don't either. And that's the thing. I mean, I was just saying,
yeah,
I've got to edit out parts where
right.
Take a break and stuff,
Right.
And, you'll have all editorial justice as well. You know what I mean? So,
I got you. I'm looking forward to doing co-hosting podcast with you. I think that'd be fun.
I think it's going to be fun.
I do too. I enjoy this stuff.
Yeah, and I think because the guys that I've got coming up are cool. We've got Skevy Skev coming up next, Sliding Sideways. You'll get to meet Kev and understand why me and Kev get along so well. You know what I mean? He's goofy. He's goofy just like me. But he's got a lot of knowledge. Right. He's got a lot of knowledge about RC cars, and he's a pretty cool cat. You know what I mean? He's my brother.
Oh,
helped me. He's helped me get to where I'm at right now, just because of the Mofo Mafia Misfits.
Yeah,
that's my boy over there, man. Hey, dude, I'm telling you what, that's a family over there. They are, man. I mean, I'm telling you. You got James RC Garage. You got Rock Wolf Designs. You got.
I've watched some of the stuff with James.
Mars, South Carolina Redneck. You got Family Callers, John. You got Tex Home with Josh. You got EX Lewis Designs. You got Maz.
Yeah, I seen James was up in the air about keeping his channel going there, and I contacted him, and I'm like, dude, I wouldn't stop.
Well, he got him a job, and he's working, so it's
right.
I think it's going to help his channel out.
That's good.
It's going to make it hard on him, for a minute, but he'll work it out. I think it's going to help because the job he's got is one that I used to do up until me and the state of West Virginia had that disagreement where they just didn't laugh like me again. I never do understand it, but yeah, you know what I mean. And it's for the same company and all, so I know what he's at, and it's about the same size community of Cross Lanes as where he's at. You know what I mean?
Right.
About the same people and stuff. Geology.
Well, I need to stop back in and check out some of James's content stuff. I mean,
dude,
I'm trying to take breaks in between doing content, but I'm trying to help Stevens too, that Stevens
I think Brad and his boys are going to put out some good stuff with your help. I really do. And I think they're already got a good start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did pretty good today. I don't know what he got edited and what he got put out or anything.
You know what I mean? I've seen what you had, I think. But maybe something that Jeremy posted, maybe.
I posted up some pics and just a few short little bits. Yeah, he's got all the film. He's got all the actual most of the footage on his phone. So we use my gimbal for some of it, and we use my stationary filming stuff for some of it. And I mean, I don't know what all he was going to get edited on it, but he's got some pretty good videos up there, trail and stuff.
Yeah,
he's got a 2-mile trail at his house. So
yeah, that's sweet. Thing is, man, I'll have to holler at a few people or something and get a few of us that's down here to come up your way. Yeah.
I've been trying to get Mark Larson and we've got Jeremy. Jeremy said he's ready to come back as soon as we're going to go back out. He's wanting to come back. And Bobby
Knudsen down here's got them excavators. He's gonna help me do some of my backyard course whenever I get the shed done finally.
Well, I wanted to come up and do some filming on his equipment. My problem is, man, it's just like I'm working like 6 days a week.
Yeah, I understand that. You know what I mean?
It's it's a lot for me. It's not just that. It's like today when we went out, dude. I mean, that filming, when you're doing that scale trail filming, it wears you out. It takes a minute. Yeah.
I mean,
we were out in the cold for 3 hours.
How long? I mean, now is that just shooting everything and then editing it out, the parts?
We filmed for over 4 hours.
Do you make a couple runs at a few different places to get the right shot?
Generally, I've gotten to the point where I can pretty much tell what we're going to be able to pull off.
Right.
Now, my son and I went down and cut the trail in by hand today.
I hear you.
And we cut a pretty aggressive trail, aggressive enough that some link trucks would have had some problems.
Right.
And we ran the whole thing scale trail wise, using winches and stuff. But it was actually setting up camera angles and stuff, brother. It takes, it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
But you're talking, we scale trailed for, 2 mile. Well, I'm a 2 mile there to the camp and then 2 mile back almost probably. So 4 miles, it's a lot.
Time actually.
Yeah, our trucks are set up pretty well, so there's not a lot of rollovers, and you know what I mean.
Right. But I know what your course looks like. I know what your course looks like at home, so I know what kind of trail you'll be cutting on the mountain too. So I know there's some fun.
Pretty, dude. This course at my house, it ain't easy, brother.
I know that's what I'm saying.
I've had guys message me. I'll take a stock.
That's what I'm saying. I can imagine what the hell you put in the woods. You know what I mean? I gotta come up there. I mean, seriously, I can't wait. I think it'd be awesome.
We cut it all by hand, man, with fold-out military shovels today.
Hey, I'll bring him tars back up to you and run at your house again.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm trying to get Bobby to come down and run the course up here with his ascent and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Next time we get a weekend when the weather's decent enough, I'll hit him up and I'll try to get him here in enough time. We can run my course. And if you guys got enough batteries, we can run out to Stevens 304, his 2 mile trail out there, and we can run that too.
Right. All right.
We can run both.
All right. Well, see, I'll have that 2200 milliamp 2S, and then I'll have that 2200 milliamp 3S battery.
But I've got spare batteries.
I got chargers. You know what I mean? I got chargers and stuff. Good, decent. You know, balance charger. It takes a little bit to charge, but
Brad's course is it's a lot, man. It takes. We went out there. It's about a 2.5, 3 hour, even at a pretty steady pace, even without filming. You're out there for 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
it's a big course.
Yeah, right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, I want to take parts of F and G back up there and show him how to do it with other parts that I throw together out of my tradings. Because that's what started.
Well, we got a lot more dudes that do the link rides. So, you know what I mean? You'll have everything out there. Vanquish, Traxxas, Axial, Red Cat. It don't matter.
We don't. That's what I love.
Yeah, it's all love. We don't,
I just happen to come across this Red Cat stuff through guys in the hobby, you know what I mean? Run across Brad first, and I was like, look, I got a bunch of stuff that ain't got a whole lot of meaning to me and ain't got a whole lot of value, but they're good things, you know what I mean? And me and Brad worked trade out, and then I ended up working trade for that frame and stuff. And
hey, man, I've got Vanquish sitting up here, and I'll tell you, if I'm going out to Brad's course, I'll grab the Gen 8 down here that I've modified, take it before I take the Vanquish.
Right.
I mean, brand name shit don't mean nothing to me.
Hey, the Red Cat is what I'm running. I'm running a Traxxas. I'm running a Traxxas 21 turn motor in it. Reedy ESC. Well, you know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, but a lot of guys get hung up on that brand name shit. Brother, I'm telling you, I've run it all. It ain't that big of a difference.
Did you see the mods that I
actually showed? As long as you're having fun.
Did you ever see the mods that I actually did on this before I put the X15s on it and stuff? The modified links I had back here.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I took the clothes hanger and put it across the stock linkage. Yeah. Glued, super glued. Hey, it works. And I'll send you that bushing. I'll send you that bushing, dude. You just got to cut it. You can cut it into 3 or cut it into 4, but you'll get 2.
I'll dig through my tire stash here too, and see what I can come up with 1.9 wise.
Yeah,
you might be able to drop that truck down to a class 2.
That's what. Actually, it'd be class 2 custom right now.
Yeah.
Right, I could drop it down with a class 2 with 1.9s. Like I said, I got those tires, and I think I got another set. No, they were the ones that I got from Brad. Those bead locks with the original Everest 8 or Everest 10 tires that he got.
So you don't have any 1.9 big bead locks there?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, okay.
4, but I think one of them is an oddball, but it's still 1.9 the same size. I've got them.
I got you. Okay.
I've got 3 like that, and then one's got a different face on it.
Okay.
But that don't make a shit to me. Matter of fact, that makes it look more scale anyway. I don't care if it's wider, skinnier, bigger, fatter. It makes it look more scale to me if it's got an extra one, you know what I mean? But there's the other one.
Okay.
And
I wasn't sure what you had there.
yeah, well, it's I'm making sure and looking to see what I do have actually. There's 3
Okay.
of that, and one of them wider got a different tire on it. And there's one that's not a bead lock, but I got another bead lock wheel somewhere.
Okay. I see it.
And there's 3 of them that have that tire, but this one has that tire on it, which is something I need glasses to see better with. Remu Hobby.
Oh, Remo Hobby. Okay.
Yep. But that's the only one of those that has.
I'll dig through my stuff and see what I got down here too, because I've got some stuff that I probably won't be using. Maybe I'll send some of that stuff your way, so it's not sitting down here. You know what I mean? I've got some big 2.2s you can have too that I can't. I got some brand new. They're big old 2.2s, but
all right,
you
I'll
might
take
be
it.
able to use them.
Hey, that 21 turn trackless motor will take it, son. Oh, and I scored a aluminum drive shaft too. Now, if you was putting aluminum drive shaft on a Red Cat Gen 7, where would you put it, front or rear?
Probably rear. Well,
it seems to me like a front wants to play with this one hard.
Yeah, front may be.
Now I
think
don't
my
know
buddy
about
broke
these
the front one more.
Hey, I don't know about these axles. I got them off Chris. They feel like they're good, sturdy, brand new axles. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they are. He's not
yeah.
bad.
I'm just saying. I just got them. I don't know nothing about them. Now, if I would use F&G's axles, I would know them. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of slop in them, but it's all right. I know what the hell they've taken.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I'm getting a data warning again on my phone.
All right, dude.
They're probably going to start robbing me back.
Hey, I'll holler at you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, just hit me up whenever you want to do that co-host.